Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
Welcome back. What's going on? It is the Post Podium Podcast live edition. I know I came in a little bit low energy.
It's coming right now. It's coming now, isn't it?
You think so?
I think so. You better bring it.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. We'll hold off a second. We'll hold off. This is smooth jazz edition. The smooth jazz edition.
I'm excited. Mm-hmm. There's a lot we got to get to.
Yeah.
Including producer cues.
He got PQs.
He got a good question today.
I can't give it nicknames. We only did this like 3 times. You're right. Okay.
Bruh.
Okay. Smooth jazz edition. What's going on, y'all? It's the Post Podium Podcast. Since he's coming in a little flat, I got it today. I got it. Home of the all truth. You want to say it?
Home of the all truth, no sodium takes. Yes, sir. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And this is Key. That was funny.
Yeah, it was. You know, we switch it up every now and then. You know, like my man Bean. You got to switch it up every now and then. You know,
switch it up. You know,
man, I'll take that all day long. I'm with it. I am actually a fan of the roster moves that have been made so far. Aside from maybe Matt Hawk. But we'll get to that in a second.
The punter? Good thing Mel ain't here today.
Oh, yeah, because he all about that?
Yeah, he all about not that. He would have a fit. Why we talking about punter? Key, why we talking about punters?
Hey, if he, and I don't, man, I hope he watching. If he watching, listen, bruh, you have to know by now why they signed this dude. If you know, put it in the comments. Like, just put a mad face in the comments or something like that so we can be mad together.
Put a mad face in the comments.
Yeah, man. Okay. All right. Are we doing this right now? Like, we already talking about it, basically.
I don't know what we're doing. Let's do it.
So the signing of Matt Hawk.
Uh-huh.
Supposedly, Bass's best year as a kicker was when we had...
No.
Bruh, look it up. Look it up.
No, ain't no way.
Tyler Bass's best year as a kicker was when we had Matt Hawk
ain't no man
as his holder.
That's why, huh?
They have not yet cut Sam Martin. He's still on the roster.
You're right. He is still on the roster. Wait a minute. Wait.
We have 2 punters on the roster right now, bro.
No.
Yo, I promise you, I
have
can't
a punter,
make this up.
And we have a place kicking holder. They're 2 different people.
No.
A punter.
That's the problem.
And a place kicking holder.
The
a
exact
place kick
problem
holder
right
specialist.
There. Nope.
That's what they call him.
Not
They
doing
call
it.
it. They call it the lawn. What do you call it? The kickoff specialist. Now we got a place kick holder specialist. He's never gonna punt. He's gonna hold. That's what he's gonna do. You ready? That's what he's gonna do. Never gonna punt. Never gonna punt.
Yo, if they start the season
with a place kick holder specialist,
with a place kick holder specialist,
yo, I just
my fandom is about to get punted right out the window. Nope. Like, I promise you, I'm not.
Family, I think I would increase my stock if they did that.
Your stock in what?
In the Bills. I'm like, yo, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is wild. Wait, I gotta see this. We really got 2 punters on the roster?
We
have 2 punters.
I'm buying stock in kickers.
You know what's even better?
On. What?
Isn't the Sam Martin like one of the highest paid punters in the league?
Oh my God.
Why is Matt Hack $400,000 less than Sam Martin?
To hold the ball. To catch, place, and hold the ball.
You forgot about taking a knee. He's got to take a knee first.
He does have to take a knee. That's right.
Are you ready?
He got to hold his arm out. Sometimes the shoulder get tired. You know, right. You got to stand there and wait for that. Right.
You got to spin it.
Yep.
1.1 mil for that. Yo, how do I sign up?
For real.
How do I sign up?
I can do that all day long. Catch the ball, place it, spin it. Man, that's it.
And you know what's crazy about it? Until we had this conversation right now, I never wanted to be that guy. The pressure involved in because if you, man, that's on you. That's on you.
Well,
not to spin it.
See, that's the part that frustrates me. That's basically what the Bills are saying. They're saying Bass missed that kick because Sam Martin was holding the ball wrong.
No, but how many times have you seen the dude muff that catch though? That's crazy. Then they have to hurry up and.
Yeah.
I don't want. And then you think about it, it's like being on the free throw line at the end of the game. You know, everybody, all eyes on you.
So the Bills call you up, Keyshawn. We need you to come hold this ball for $1 million and one.
You know what I say?
What?
How much is guaranteed? Because if I screw up and you cut me, I'm getting some kind of guapage off of that. I'm getting guapage off of this.
Oh my gosh!
I need some guarantees.
I sound like I'm 60 over here cackling.
You smoking 6 packs of Newport today?
I don't think.
Have I ever seen 2 punters on a roster like this before?
I don't think I would feel any pressure doing that.
You're a better man than me.
Like, think about it. My first paycheck is probably more money than I'm gonna make in a couple of years.
Yes, it is.
Right now.
It is.
But
and then when they cut you,
if
still
the
made
kicker
enough
misses, everybody's gonna blame it on him. They ain't gonna blame it on me. As long as I turn the ball around. Like, because that's the only thing. If I catch it, place it, and turn it, and he misses, it ain't my fault.
But they be looking at, like, you see the angle of which the hole was. You know, the laces was just like a 270-degree rotation.
Well, they tell your snapper to get the snap right then. Yeah. I'm pointing all the fingers everywhere I possibly can. Yeah, exactly. Yo, don't come to me. You see that dude bent over there? That's the man that got. Yeah. Why is that an AO?
I mean, I don't know.
That's what they got to do.
He can submit that for review, I guess.
Yeah, that's man. That might get rejected. that might get slapped down now. That AO might get overruled.
That might get overruled. I don't know. I mean, I've heard stronger cases for AOs, but he did say without a microphone too. So that's
true. He did.
That's crazy.
Okay, with your chest.
Yeah,
with your chest. I respect it.
That was loud early too.
You're right. Yeah, he usually wait for until about an hour in or so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's my take on the whole Matt Hawk situation. I'm just not a fan of spending money for specialty players when we're already in a tough cap situation and we need roster spots filled like you wouldn't believe.
Fam, I'm glad you said that after we started the show, but I didn't even think about it. I didn't even realize Sam Martin was still on the team.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I knew we had 2 sucky punters, but I mean, they on the team simultaneously?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, they'll say, well, you know, we want to go into camp and have competition. When is the last time? With 2
sucky punters.
With 2 veteran sucky punters. Like, I could understand if you had 2 drafted punters or whatever. You just trying
one that sucks and one that's like trying to,
Right. You just trying to see who works out the best and, you know, make it a good competition. But both of these dudes is terrible.
They're terrible.
Anyway.
I mean, this is kind of like the Mitch Trubisky issue. You know, you got rid of him. He was terrible, and you took him back.
Right.
Matt Hack, it's terrible.
For $2.5 million a season, basically.
Didn't we cut Matt Hawk though and get Sam Martin?
Yeah.
So
we cut Matt Hawk because he wasn't a great directional punter.
Right.
So we went and got Martin because he was a great directional punter, but he can't hold.
Right. He can't hold, and he can't keep the ball in the air longer than 3.7 seconds.
Correct.
All right. You know what? While I'm doing that, we're gonna continue this conversation. I really want to know what is ball in the air time is, because I don't need another AO right now. It's too early for AO.
Wait, why you ain't coming? Yo.
No, because what I was gonna say would have definitely been an AO.
What? How long his balls hang in the air?
No. I was like, I don't even want to say this. I might get flagged. I'm definitely gonna get flagged.
Say it.
I had to look and see how long his football hang time is.
That ain't worse than what I just said.
I wasn't gonna say football though. That is an AO. If I didn't say football, it's an AO.
His ball hang time?
Nah, I just want to see his hang time.
Oh,
that's an AO. I told you.
You can't say that, bro.
That's an AO.
You can't say that on the show.
But so like I said, his football hang time, 4.5 seconds, which is right. 4.5 seconds, which is right.
Okay.
But like we said before, he can't directionally kick. So are they going to alternate? Are they going to like college quarterbacks where situational punter?
Yeah, I can see that happening. If you got to get it far, okay, hot, You out there.
I can't see two punters on the team at the same time. I really can't. I can't.
Right. That's exactly. It makes you want to pull whatever it is from behind your eyeballs out and just.
Dude, I really thought Sam Martin was gone.
No,
he's not. I looked at Spot Track. He's still here.
Keyshawn is emotionally affected right now.
I thought that it was written. I was like, you know what? We're good. We got a punter now. No, we have two punters.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, please.
Yes.
This show is going to be the show of shows. Maybe not, but this is going to be a great show, and I'm excited about this show. Very interactive. Trust me. If you stick with us, you'll enjoy it. You got any other stuff right now? Or I got some stuff. You got more?
Yeah, I got some stuff too.
You usually don't bring stuff, so I'm interested in this stuff.
True. Let me see. Actually, no, that was my stuff. We heard stuff. Mm-hmm. I got other stuff.
You got auxiliary stuff.
I got auxiliary stuff. So let's get to your stuff we heard first.
Okay, so Ryan Bates for a fifth. I wrote this when they did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, fine. Mitch Morse is going to be here. So the next day, Mitch Morse, you out of here too. So I'm like, there's a big hole in the center.
Right.
And then, we texted and I said, they got Connor McGovern at center. I don't understand how that's going to work. He wasn't a good run blocker when he was here last year. He really wasn't a good pass blocker either. So, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, did they sign him? Because, you were talking about how he was signed to starter money at the guard spot, and it didn't make sense. Did they sign him to low-end starting center money now? Was that the plan all along? No.
Yeah. When you sign a guy like that to play guard, and he's technically compared to, and this is tough because we had a guy like Andy Levitri in here, but he's not one of the bigger guards in the league, and he's not one of the better run blocking guards in the league either.
Right.
More of a pass blocking guy. And you bring that guy in and you say to your offensive line, I want to run the ball more. You say to your offensive coordinator, I want to run the ball more. You're running a 12 formation with a guy that can't run block.
Right.
So him moving over to center, in my opinion, I think that alleviates his need to have to run block well. Right? Is that him, 6'5", 315?
Yep, that's him. I'm just looking for something. But did you need to see something off of that?
No.
Okay.
I thought he was smaller. I thought he was like 6'3".
You know what? I saw the guy and I didn't know he was this big. I really didn't.
Yeah, I think that's off.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him 6. I'll give him 6.
6'4".
6'4", 6. I'll give him the height. The weight, nah. I got a problem with that because seeing him in person, he was not bigger than me, and I'm 290. So. Right. 30 pounds heavier than me? I don't think so, unless he's in his stomach or something. Huh?
Sorry to interrupt you guys.
What's up?
It's okay if I squeeze in the questions after you guys are finished talking about this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I 30 pounds heavier. I don't see it. But I mean, obviously I'm not the smallest guy ever for people that are watching at home, but I just don't think that he actually was as big as people were trying to be.
Right.
Kind of what I was looking at, though. I was looking to see his center play beforehand. He had 88 snaps at center in Dallas in 2022. 2021, he had 12 snaps at center. 2020, he had no snaps at center. Rookie year, you're looking at no snaps, period. So if we flip over to his college career, I think he was a center in college in 2017, I want to say. Yeah, 2017, he played all center. He had 857 snaps at center. So he does have some kind of history at center. And maybe 2018 as well. So it looks like he probably had over 1,000 snaps. Yeah, he's had over 1,000 snaps. No, he's had over 900 snaps at center in his college career. So he's not a stranger to the center position. It's just a matter of what Cromer can get out of him.
So let me see. He scored a 9.87 out of 10 on the relative athletic score.
Yeah. And who beat him? Big Spence.
Yeah,
Big
but
Spence,
I think this is kind of a new trend for the Bills, going after, athletic guys, and with him being a center in the system that they play, which now with him moving to center kind of looks like it may be a similar system to last year. His ability to, to pull and stuff like that.
Right.
Would make sense. You don't have to be a great run blocker to do stuff like that. You just have to be athletic enough to get into position.
Right.
So I think that works better for him.
I mean, you got Josh Allen as a quarterback with the mobility he has. You can get away with some things that you couldn't if you had Joe Flacco or somebody like that. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it allows you to save some money on offensive line. You got a right guard as a rookie. You got a right tackle who's got momentum going into his fourth year. Mm-hmm. And obviously you got Doc on the other side as the stalwart. He's been here all 8 years now. Just now we got to figure out what we're going to do at left guard, whether it's in the draft or whether it's David Edwards or whatever the case may be after that. I don't know. We'll see what they bring in.
I don't want to see David Edwards there. I don't. I mean, he at this point in his career, he's probably going to be a better run blocker than anything. A better pass blocker than anything. But even in his heyday, he was a better run blocker than pass blocker. Mm-hmm. So I would rather see a draft pick. I like what they did with bringing in Osiris Torrance. I think if they can find another guy like that who can be a road grader like Torrance, you now open up the ability to run up the gut on teams and really force them to have to bring people, further and further in towards the line. Mm-hmm. And then you go and get yourself that nice wide receiver too that can, burn everybody deep. Now you're creating issues for a defense. Now They have to play honest.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's absolutely right. You're a starter, but if that's all you're left with, you could do a lot worse. He was a starter in L.A., and obviously they used him a lot at the tight end position in Buffalo. So, I mean, he signed him for a 2-year, $6 million deal. Next year, cap hit $2.2 million with an early out after 2025. So actually, no, there is no early out. He counts against the cap. Only 8.75 next year. Should they cut him though? So. There is some kind of incentive to see what he has, and there's no pressure to keep him on the team after the season.
Okay.
But furthermore, with that fifth rounder, that tells me that they're going to trade up.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Let's do it now. I'll do it now because I know Monday's show is what it is, but I wanted to just do what I call your dumb draft. Why do I call it that? Because you'll see why.
Okay.
As you can see, our first pick is not at 28. Okay? I traded up to 20.
Okay.
For you and Mel. I selected Brian Thomas Jr. So now you have your wide receiver. That was the end of the draft. I had to give up I gave up a fifth and I gave up a second next year, I believe. So I mean, you know how I like
That's
my drafts.
I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you can pull Brian Thomas Jr. in, especially with that kind of a haul, your offense is fine. Whether or not you have Steph Diggs, at the Steph Diggs, whether or not you have Khalil Shakir building on last year, Brian Thomas is going to definitely be that number 2 that you desired out of Gabe Davis that you just couldn't get. Second round, I took TJ Tampa, which I really liked out of Iowa State, cornerback.
Okay.
Third round, I took a tackle. This is a depth tackle, Javon Foster out of Missouri. I think he's 6'6", 315. He's a fringe left tackle, stalwart right tackle, can be a backup. In the fifth round, I took your buddy, Maris Luafau out of Notre Dame.
Yes, sir.
And this is where I kind of dug myself into a corner here with the second, fifth round pick out of Wake Forest. I took Malik Mustafa. I really didn't want him, but I wanted to draft a safety somewhere, and he was the best I saw available for the rest of the draft. So I said, you know what, just do it. I really wanted Cam Kitchens. Your guy, James Williams, was taken, I think, with the 158th pick, and I took the 159th from Malik. So I probably would have went James Williams if I had him, but I didn't. 162, I allowed the better conscience to prevail, and I took Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State.
Okay.
Big body running back, low center of gravity, nice change of direction, and hard to take down. He fights for extra yardage, so I think that would be the Ty Johnson replacement should you need it. Wide receiver in the 6th round, Taj Washington out of USC. He does get deep. He can run the ball. He can catch short and go with the rack that you want. And in the 6th round, it was great value to sit behind somebody and be, the replacement should somebody go down to injury or otherwise. 6th round again, Jalen Ford, linebacker out of Texas. This is the guy we talked about who I thought, I definitely thought he was going to be somebody that could be a project, but somebody that would come in and given a chance to be kind of on the trajectory of Matt Milano. I think that with work, Jalen Ford is definitely going to be that lockdown middle linebacker, I should say, that will be able to offer a lot in pass coverage. Mm-hmm. I think that he's somebody that does have a nose for the ball, not afraid to tackle, good size. And, I mean, you see him in high point the ball like he's a tight end wide receiver. So I thought that was really interesting. I took Jalen Harrell, defensive end out of Michigan, in the 6th round as well because I wanted him to sit behind Von Miller. He's got the same twitchiness, same size, same bend. I would like to see him learn behind somebody that can teach him how to work his counters, how to use his hands, and his speed.
Okay.
Lastly, Jalen Coker was a sleeper out of Holy Cross. Like who was that? Wide receiver. I actually had to. I don't have his scouting report up, so I have to.
The next Stevie
kind of
Johnson?
go out, huh?
The next Stevie Johnson.
Well, in a sense, I guess, but he's got a big body. He's very effective. He's a FCS school. Okay. I get them mixed up. That's the former 1AA. And I think that would be a good complement, kind of a Gabe Davis kind of replacement. Like I said, I think he's 6'3", 200-ish pounds.
Do you remember what his 40 time and Taj Washington's 40 time was?
Who's the other one you wanted to know?
Taj Washington.
Sure. Give me 1 second.
I like the fast dudes.
We know.
We know.
6'1", 208.
Right.
He ran a 4.5, so he's not Blazer, but like I said, Gabe Davis kind of replacer.
Okay.
If you look at his scouting report, it says he's coordinated with solid, reliable hands, shows the ability to adjust balls thrown behind him, as well as a knack for digging out low throws. Has a strong hands that NFL wide receiver coach and quarterbacks would covet. Tracks the ball deep over either shoulder and brings in passes fluidly without breaking stride. He's equally dangerous in catch and run situations as he is taking the top off the defense. Major factor is his size, explosive athleticism, but he has a knack for tracking and high pointing the ball. Strong runner with the ball with enough agility to make defenders miss an open field, and plays with smoothness and balance as he shows a knack for setting up defensive backs. And
you got Taj up there?
Who's that?
Taj Washington?
Sure.
Need an H,
Not that
sir.
one.
It's the wrong Taj.
Did I spell it? How do you spell it?
Tahg or J. Tahj.
There we go. 5'10", 174. Runs a 4.4. Let's see. What did they say about him? Excellent blocker on the outside. Washington is also adding value in the run game. Very good hands, accepts the ball fluidly on most throws, and is ready to make a play afterwards. Makes catches in traffic, even going up over taller defenders with the vertical and toughness. He's a fluid athlete with explosive bursts and speed to stretch the field and breeze past defenders that he has a quick first step and gets to top speed in a hurry. His long arms allow him to play bigger than his size, and he has a frame that can carry a little more weight. Okay. He's a savvy natural pass catcher with reliable hands and very good focus, snatches the ball out of the air and shows the concentration to make acrobatic catches look easy. So, yeah, I mean, if you watched, what was it, the USC, who did they play? I'm trying to think who it was I watched where he really was. It might have been Texas. He really flashed. I mean, I think he had 2 touchdowns. He just went off. But, yeah, I think I knew the 5'10" was going to turn you off, but I felt like, for the value in that round that I got him, definitely somebody would take a flyer on, especially if you want to put him in a slot or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with it. I mean, 4.4 speed is not bad. 174 worries me a little bit, but if he's got a frame that he can put a little bit more weight on. I want to ask you this too about Xavier. I'm sorry,
Worthy.
Yeah, Worthy.
My guy.
So he came to the combine at 165.
Mm-hmm.
In college, he was listed at 180 something, right?
Like it was between 175 and 180.
Now, based on what you saw on tape, like where did he look like he was somewhere in between that? Did he look, like a 165, or did he look like a 180? Like
on tape, I mean, he's slender. He is slender. He's narrow built, but I mean, like I said, he's the kind of guy that, you don't really want to mess too much with his weight. You get him back to his playing weight in Texas and be fine. I mean, he was a blazer in Texas. So, you put 10, 15 pounds on him, whatever he played in college, I would be more than happy putting him on outside. Otherwise, you're looking at somebody in the ilk of a Deshaun Jackson build. The weight and height might be a little off, but they still look slender on the field. We're not gonna go Ty Pinkston small, but he could probably best served add a little bit of weight.
Yeah. Well, so to me, I think this is the part that makes it a little tough. Because the more I think about guys like Taj Washington, Xavier Worthy that have that game-breaking speed, you look at a Tank Dell, he's 5'10", 165, right? Again, another guy, really good hands, game-breaking speed, playmaker, right? But he's not expected to be the number one or even the number two on that team. Well, he wasn't last year. He may step into that role this year, just because that spot is kind of open now with Noah Brown gone.
That's what it was, I think. Yeah.
Right. But I don't know if Worthy's going to be able to come in this year and have the same sort of cushion that Tank Dell had, right? Because you have Steph Diggs in the locker room right now. You have Shakir. You have Shorter. You have Shavers. And that's it. That's really it.
I think Worthy is somebody I definitely would look at in the second round.
Who? Worthy?
Worthy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dang, I really went hard on this. Look what I named it. Sold my soul.
Yeah, I was gonna comment on that. Like that just shows how much you hate trading in the draft.
I hate trading in mock drafts because it's this one I tried to be as realistic as possible. You see a lot of ones where guys traded like number 6 and they give like the next 2 first-round picks and I'm like, that's not even realistic. It's not fun when you can manipulate it that to that degree.
Right.
And I'll be honest, I did this like 3 or 4 times because every time I tried to trade up, Brian Thomas moved up a little bit. So I would say, okay, let me see where he is at when I start at 28.
Yeah.
He went at 26. I said, cool, I'll go ahead and trade at 25 and be good. I traded 25. He goes to 21. I'm like, you know what? so I'm like, all right. So I found a sweet spot, and 20 was good, and I felt confident. I was comfortable giving up, because I remember you saying trading to the teens. And I'm like, I don't want to get into that. That's murky water for me.
You shriveled up?
Huh?
You shriveled up?
I shriveled up. My knees knocked. But yeah, I think that was probably about where he's going to end up. And I mean, Adonai Mitchell was still there, which I would be fine, huh?
What round?
First round. I would take Adonai in the first if I had to.
Really?
Yeah, I would take him in the first. He's not Brian Thomas, silky smooth. He's not Xavier Worthy fast. He's fast, but he doesn't have the shiftiness. He doesn't have what they have. But at 6'3" and 4'3", that's a unicorn kind of. Where he's going to go up and get it. He's just not going to do a lot after the catch. So you'll be looking further down the line at what can you do to mitigate that rack yardage.
Have you gotten a chance to look at some more of Xavier Legette?
I did look at Legette.
Okay.
Did you hear what he said? That's part of my stuff we heard too. He talked about how he wanted to play with Josh.
Really?
Yeah. So he did say he wanted to play with Josh. Wow. I think he'll be able to be had in the second round if you wanted to.
So you wouldn't take him in the first?
I wouldn't take him in the first.
So you think second round move up to get him?
Yeah, if you move in the second round like they did with TJ Graham or whatever, you could do that. Okay. But if you could solidify Adonai or Brian Thomas for sure in the first, you can go get yourself Legette if you wanted to. Who I've actually started to take a shine to?
Cool.
The more I watch, Lab McConkey.
Really?
The more I watch, I like that dude. I mean,
You think he's like a Cooper Cup-ish?
I think, well, he's faster, but he's Cooper Cup-ish. He's shorter. You know, he's 6 feet. I didn't know he was that tall. That's one of the things, too. I thought he was a slot guy. But the route technician, seeing him with Diggs on the same field, 2 wide receivers that are elite route runners, and he's got like, what did he have? What did he run? Didn't he run a 4.38 or something like that?
Yeah, it was something
McConkey?
like that.
Yeah, he ran. I mean, he ran a 4.39. I mean, 6 feet, 186, ran a 4.39, and the route running ability that he has is there's nobody in this draft like that with him. There's nobody in the draft that's ready to run routes like this guy. And the more tape I watch on him, the more I'm like, yo, I can see it. I mean, he makes guys look stupid. He makes guys look stupid. Yeah. I actually put it on our Instagram. I think I put it on our Instagram page. I might have put a highlight tape of his on there for public consumption. So if you're not subscribed to our Instagram page, if you're not on our Facebook page, head on over and do so. Same name as the show. But yeah, I think what's that?
It's not subscribe, it's follow.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not YouTube.
What happened now?
He's trying to say, you guys should subscribe to our Instagram account. It's not subscribe, it's follow.
You can subscribe to our Instagram account.
Follow.
This is our show, sir.
Right.
Say what we want.
2 40-year-olds and a 20-year-old. We say what we want. We paid our dues. No, I'm joking. So what is it? So follow us on Instagram. That better?
Follow.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't indulge the 20-year-old, okay?
You're 40, but it's
I'm trying to come in. Hey, I'm trying to come into the new age.
no, you're not ready.
Be proud of me.
Never.
What other stuff you got?
So my stuff. Let me see. So my stuff is more of a conversation. It's not like news-ish, right? But
all right. I'll run down my stuff with that conversation then.
Go ahead.
So you see, Sports Illustrated suggested the Ravens should sign Gabe Davis to address their wide receiver needs.
The Ravens?
Ravens.
For what? For like who?
I'm not laughing at Gabe, but this is what Sports Illustrated said. So this is on Twitter.
What problem is he gonna solve there?
This is so you know me on Twitter. I'm a kid. I had to be nosy, so I opened it up to see what the fans were saying. It was a mixed bag. Some people were like, "All right, cool, give me that guy," but you can tell me about this because I don't know.
Okay.
Lazard 2.0. Somebody said.
Oh.
Somebody said Lazard 2.0.
Only good if you got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers that can place the ball in the right way.
Somebody else said, sign him, but tell him to save his 2 random 200-yard games for the postseason.
Save his random 200-yard games. That's pretty good.
Somebody said, so Mel, I know you watching. Playoff game? Well, somebody said, Gabe, 2 big games a year, Davis. 2 big games a year, Davis. No way. Better options.
Now, these are people from Baltimore.
These are Baltimore fans that commented on the Twitter thread.
Yikes.
Now, I'm going to sit here and defend Gabe just for a second. He is an NFL wide receiver. He will bring value to some team.
Maybe. I'm sorry. Keep going. Go ahead.
I can't. But he's not a one size fits all for every team out there. So I think they need to tread lightly when they decide what team they want to assign him to in all the mock situations. So,
I get the impression this is going to be the reaction in a lot of places. I think Gabe Davis is probably not going to get as much as he thinks he is.
Right.
And shockingly, the Bills are in a position where, you hear a lot of people on the radio say, he's probably going to get 15, 16 mil. I don't see with his production how he gets that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even though his stats of, longest, yards per catch, whatever, all of that's nice.
Yeah.
But turn on the tape and what do you see? Right? And these scouts they're doing their due diligence. They're doing the homework. Yeah, okay, there might be that one season where he didn't play so great and he was dealing with a high ankle sprain. But what about every other season that he's been here? right? What does his route running really look like when you watch the all 22?
Yeah, what's
It's
the route
not
tree?
great.
Yeah, what's the route tree? It's not. It's what, a 2-trick pony, 3-trick pony?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I'm not paying 15, 16 million for a 1-trick pony.
No.
So, Alan Lazard, his value was only with one quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from that, Packers weren't interested in that.
And he went with said quarterback.
Right. I mean, hell, the Jets weren't even interested in that, but but because Roger said so,
Roger
they
said, you bring my guys in, and I will be there.
Right. So, I just the one thing that I hope doesn't happen though is he goes out there, sees he's not going to get the 15, 16,
And come back.
and comes back to the Bills saying, "All right, I'll take 7."
Right.
No, I don't want you for 7. I don't even want you for 2.
Yeah, no. I mean, my thing is, okay, if he acquiesced and took 2,
No,
that gives us
because they're gonna still try to start him as a number 2 receiver,
the Kyer Elam treatment.
huh?
Kyer Elam treatment.
They're not gonna treat him like that. He's too well.
That's what I'm saying to the new rookie, the rookie wide receiver they take in the first round.
You think they would give him the Kyer Elam treatment?
Listen, not him. I'm saying the new rookie. So yeah, Lab
right.
McConkey. Yeah, that's what you're saying. If we got Gabe for 2 and we
yeah,
drafted
yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr., he'd be yo,
absolutely.
I would throw the whole stadium. I would literally pick up one little drive and just throw the whole thing down the road.
Flip all the dirt back into the new hole for the new stadium.
Because this stadium would be the new stadium when I got done with it. Speaking of which, PFF, I'm about to unsubscribe.
Why?
I didn't know how I was going to preface this, but screw it. Here we go.
Okay.
Perfect free agent matches for all 32 NBA, NFL teams. Christian Wilkins to the Bears and more, okay?
Wow.
So I'm like, cool. I'm like, man, I don't feel like scrolling through all this. I was on my phone. I'm supposed to be working. So I said, oh, sweet. They got to jump to a team. Let me see who they got for the Bills.
Who?
Devin Singletary.
No. No.
Now listen. I'm going to read it. The Bills currently have the worst cap situation in the NFL, needing to clear more than $40 million before the start of the new league year. They have several needs, including running back, wide receiver, and defensive line. That needs to be addressed, but they likely won't be eyeing the top of the market of any of those spots. While there are flashier names available at the running back position, such as Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, a reunion with Devin Singletary would make some sense. He had an excellent year in Houston, wrestling the starting role away from Damian Pierce. Didn't he get hurt?
Right. Ain't no wrestling match going on there.
The Bills shuffled through several players for depth last. No, we didn't. We shuffled through Latavius Murray, Ty Johnson, and anyway.
And where was the shuffle?
I don't know.
It was Murray, you go in and block
Right.
or run it on first and second down at the goal line.
And James Cook went for a Pro Bowl year of over 1,000 yards.
Right.
So the Bills shuffled through several players for depth last year. Singletary is still one of the best gap scheme runners. Wow, I said that screwed up. One of the best gap scheme runners in the league, and would add stability behind James Cook. James Cook couldn't win the job from this dude when he was clearly better. We saw it last year, but he had to live in Devin Singletary's shadow. Might have been a short shadow, but it was still a shadow nonetheless. No way. Absolutely no way.
Look at me. Look at me.
Are you the captain now?
Look at me. I'm the captain now. Bean, if you do this, bro.
We done, son. We done.
I would be saying this for the rest of the offseason. If they do this, I'm done. Like that's how fed up I am with this regime now. The funny part is I would keep Bean all day long.
Yeah.
Like you can throw Sean out the window. I would keep
You
Bean
would?
all
Oh man, I didn't know that. I didn't know you would.
Oh yeah, on a moving train. I think Bean is capable of hiring a good coach and working well with a guy that he brings in to work under him. I want to go back to the traditional way of having a team run. I think there's more accountability in that. I think there's more of a how can I say? There's more of a clear picture as to how things function and you know who picks what players and all that. You know what I mean? Like right now things are just too murky. You don't know who's doing what, and some of it seems like it's by design. I don't really like that. I don't like being kept in the dark about something that I have to pay taxes for, right? So, just don't even mention that name for the rest of my life.
Devin Singletary?
Yes.
Dude, that's how how I've been feeling.
He's because of this, he's inching closer and closer to the ex-Levi Wallace list.
He's going to be the new one?
He's going to be the new Levi Wallace.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
Levi just got off the list. I even welcomed him back.
You did. And I'm not mad at the fact that you put him on the list because you know how I felt about him the whole time. From the time he got on the field, everybody, this dude, like, what are we going for? We going for
his 140-yard run against the Broncos, and now all of a sudden he's a star.
Man, and how long did that run take?
Like 15 minutes. The whole fourth quarter, he's still running.
He juked the guy. The guy fell down, got him, and made the tackle. I'm not with that. I'm not with it.
Right.
So yeah, no. This article, I said, wow. Not even a Tyler Dunn report could save that one.
Oh, God, that was so ugly.
The most wins in the last 5 years. Kansas City 63, Buffalo 58, Green Bay 56, Baltimore 56, San Francisco 54, New Orleans 50, Dallas 50. So the reason why I bring this up, there are two names that are behind this. Two names. One made it to the Super Bowl. One made it to the AFC Championship. Burns my grits, man. They coming.
Jordan Love, boy. Yeah. Jordan Love is now going to end up getting more burn deeper in the postseason than Josh Allen will in the AFC.
Actually, I'm sorry, you're right. There's two teams that made it to the playoffs and won to the Super Bowl. I was thinking about the Baltimore Ravens. You're right. Jordan Love and the Ravens and the Packers. Man, we got to get a move on because this divisional round crap has got to stop. It's got to stop.
There's people that think that it's over now. Super Bowl window's closed.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. Even I might have said it on a show or two before.
Do you think that now still after?
No,
everything?
I don't think so.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. I mean, that's people's opinion. I don't see how you prove that. No. Even with the defense, missing a lot of the depth that they had, it's the equivalent of when the Warriors lost their bench, right? They still had, some really good players on that team, and losing the depth hurts, especially in the postseason or whenever you incur injuries.
Right.
But I think defensively, Sean McDermott has shown that he can, at the very least, maintain an above-average defense with whoever. You know what I'm saying? You look at guys like Cam Lewis, and we re-signed the guy, but Taylor Rapp, who in my opinion is the poor man's Jordan Poyer. So, for what it's worth, I think this is going to be an interesting year to watch at the very least, mostly because I like to watch the development of young players, and it'll be interesting to see how the young defense develops, but also how Josh handles the weight of the entire team being on his shoulders even more. I didn't think that was possible, but for real, 2024 is going to be even more pressure because the offense has to carry the team. Yep. They're not going to win games by trying to shut teams down in the fourth quarter. It's got to be, you better hope Josh doesn't get the ball with a minute and a half left.
Yeah, I mean he's got to beat him Mahomes.
Yeah,
he's got to be that guy when I'm like, oh, we're down by 6 with 35 seconds left, or like it's too much time.
Now you can make that easier if you draft a Brian Thomas or an Xavier Worthy, or you get somebody like that can come in and be that bomb number 2 wide receiver for you.
Yeah, you got to give him some options. And
right.
I mean, Kincaid is definitely, he's going to come into his own this year. And honestly,
you might be selling me on McConkey too.
Dude, I'll send you. I'm going to send you the clips that not the clips, but the highlight tape I saw. You let me know.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, when I saw him, I said, this guy's a slot guy. He's small, blah, blah, blah. Everybody, Cole Beasley, everybody, I didn't do it, but the conception was, we have a white wide receiver. So now we can be a slot guy like Beasley.
No.
And now, color aside, I could see him being a route technician like Beasley. I could see it. A better one. But Beasley with probably, 0.2 of a second speed faster than Beasley. So I mean, you could do whatever you want, and at 6 feet, I
I'll
thought
take
he was.
an Adam Thielen / Cooper Kupp type receiver. Like
Yeah,
those
no.
dudes put up numbers.
I think this Lad McConkey might be that hidden gem, and the reason why I say this is because wherever he's been on the radar. Adonai's been on the radar. Brian Thomas has been on the radar, but Lad McConkey kind of snuck into the first round. He kind of fell into the Bills' lap at 28.
Yeah.
So if the Bills can't get up high enough to get a Brian Thomas, I could see Lad. And with a guy like Dalton Kincaid being on the team, you don't need Lad McConkey to be that Puka Nacua kind of guy that when things aren't going right, it's only him.
Right.
Because you still got Kincaid, you still got Shakir, you got Diggs, you got hopefully whoever we draft later who can contribute to something. Right. But yeah, I'm telling you, I'm kind of excited about the prospect, and I'm not worried about trading up his fire anymore now that his presence has been felt.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, truth be told, if he prices himself out of the Bills at 28, what does that do for us? That pushes one of those wide receivers we didn't think we were going to get back to us.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, it was a double-edged sword. It works in our favor. So I'm all in on the prospects, whether it's in Buffalo or not, of Lad McConkey. I don't know if people knew this, but Trey White is a post-June 1 designee.
Yep.
So what that means for people that don't know at home, that $10 million that comes off the books does not come off the books until after June 1st, which means we're going to miss both waves of free agency, the ones that are meaningful. So that $10 million, for all intents and purposes, does nothing for us. Right. It gets us past the cap floor. I'm sorry,
they're still $9 million over.
But the thing about that is they didn't do anything yet. Think about it. When they restructured Josh Allen, that's $23 million. So
opened up?
Yeah. When they restructured Josh Allen, $23 million opened up. When they restructured Ed Oliver, that's what, another 9 or so? So as it stands right now, we're looking at the potential to have about $30 million in cap space. So you can get yourself a free agent or two.
Well,
and
you got to
draft
take,
money.
6 or 7 out for draft picks?
And that's Trey White's contract, because you figure Trey White's contract, it opens up right as the draft is about to really kick in with the signing of the draft picks.
Oh, that's nice. That's smart.
Yeah. So
that's smart.
Big Baller Bean and my boy, who's that? Big Jim Overdorf.
Yeah, they doing work.
Once again. Now I can't. Bean was probably sitting there sweating. I know this year he wasn't as cocky as he's usually been, but
who?
Bean.
Bean. You
as
don't
cocky
think so?
as nah. Because when they asked him at the combine how's the cap space, he was like, yeah, nah. Normally he's like, oh, we could do this, that, and third, push this down. We got options. This year he was like, nah, we ain't got like we usually got. But
yeah,
they made it work. I mean,
I think that says a lot, though.
Yeah,
that says a lot. So one of the things that I wanted to get to, and you kind of touched on it, so I'll just say
go ahead,
it.
hop in.
I think the roster moves to this point, and I titled the episode "Roster Surgery Part 2" because we saw what this looked like initially when Bean got here and started cutting Marcel Darius and all these other guys, right? And these were guys that because of either the contract or their importance to the team, nobody really saw that stuff coming. There were some people that were even a little bit upset about that, and they had to come out and say, look, we understand what this looks like. But this is stuff we have to do now. We got to take our medicine now in order to be better later. Mm-hmm. But this one is a little bit different for me,
right? Okay,
because you just spent the last 4, maybe 5 years trying to keep everything status quo, keep everything the way it is, keep the core guys together, keep the family home, so to speak, right? And now you're in a position where cap-wise, you could have gotten away with doing that this year. You could have. And guess what? Next year, it would have been even better for you because a lot of these guys, instead of having to cut them or trade or whatever, or restructure, they would have just fallen right off the branch, right? You wouldn't have had to do much to open up more cap space, and the cap goes up again next year. Right. So I think because of that reality that does exist or did exist before these decisions were made, I do think this is kind of a glimpse into the future of there's a power change happening at One Bills Drive. I think Bean and McDermott have 2 years left on their deal, 2024 and 2025, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
They have technically this year to turn things over and get it right so that 25 can show itself as the reason they deserve an extension, right? Which means they've got to set themselves up this year to, at the very least, be in the AFC Championship game by 2025, if they can't make it this year.
Right.
So that says to me, there's some pressure. It's not just regular old, we're gonna we're gonna stand in front of everybody and tell you nothing and do what we want and you're just gonna have to eat it. We got to make some changes. We got to fix some things because we've been kicking the can down the road, and Keyshawn has been on the show screaming about it all season long. So we gotta scratch his back a little bit.
Just a little bit. They scratched me well. They scratched. To piggyback on that, I had in my notes here. I called it my closing thoughts, but I filled that in before I did everything else. Mm-hmm. So it seems like this was it, but it's not. For me, the move demonstrates a regime change in values, like you just said. They're not running it back. Finally.
Yeah,
they're finally not running because we were talking. I was not arguing, but I was trying to convince you and Mel Trey White wasn't coming back. I was trying to tell you.
I like it was kind of like a denial thing for me because I was like, he's probably right, but dang, we could still use him. I don't kind of
right.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. A lot of people it's the loyalty and it's the culture, and that's the thing that I loved about this change. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit what hit me the hardest, but. I mean, they're not restructuring old players. Thank God. We're not doing this. Von Miller took a pay cut. I know, we talked about it with the restructure, the verbiage of restructure versus renegotiate. Yeah. But he took a pay cut.
I wonder what those incentives look like. $20 million worth of incentives.
There are a lot of incentives, and I'm sure they made it a lot more palatable for him to do it because they say you get 5 sacks or you get a crazy roster bonus, you get a crazy bonus per game played. Or, snaps over 20 snaps a game, something crazy,
right?
And they're going to add in some not likely to achieve incentives, so make it look like it's on up and up. But no, he's going to get paid handsomely, and that's I'm scratching your back. But the beautiful thing about it was there's no void years added on the end of it, so that's the part that's huge. And who saw that coming? Everybody wanted to cut Von, and he said, "Nah, you ain't got to cut me. Just pay me. I'll work. I'm confident in myself." Right. Like he was last year. I was ready before the season. No, you weren't. You weren't. But I like your moxie, kid.
Yeah. Nice try.
This year they got to pay young players. They got to play young players.
And you said they got to play.
I know. They got to play young players.
Yeah.
Elams and people because why? Think about this. Who were the captains last year? We just cut 4 of them or let cut or let them walk. Yeah. Medikevich, Poyer, Hyde, Morris. They gone. They gone, baby. They ain't coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I could see a world where Poyer does the same thing as last year.
Who do you think takes captains now? Milano's got to be one of them.
Yeah, Milano's going to be one.
Josh.
Easily. Dawkins. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's the longest tenured player on the team now. So, with this regime, no, he is. He's the longest player. Yeah.
You think Von gets it? I could see Oliver getting it.
I could see Oliver or even Rasul Douglas. I could even see him get it
man.
because we got a young secondary coming in. So I could see him being the old head of the secondary. Even something crazy like Terrell Bernard or somebody like that.
See, that's what I was thinking too. Like they would just give it to the linebackers.
It's gonna be something weird, man. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something that you're gonna be like. It's not a Gabe Davis. Oh, we voted for him. Where the hell did that come from? Kind of deal.
Right. The players took a vote in the back of the stadium
that we heavily influenced
at midnight last night, and they decided.
And Gabe won somehow. So this right here tells me, and also getting rid of John Butler, Sean McDermott's main man, because what they say, John Butler was the major cog in Elam not playing. Because Elam and Butler didn't get along, Butler wasn't high on him and Elam wasn't high on Butler. So evidently that was a major part in them not playing. So
when did they get rid of Butler?
When they hired Babbage. Because remember on that show I said Butler left because there was a rumor that he was mad that he didn't get that DC spot.
Oh, that's right.
So he's out.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's where they got that I forgot the guy's name. The new guy from.
But how? Like, oh man. So how does that happen? How does that continue to be allowed to happen? Your number one pick doesn't get on the field,
right?
And you go and you talk to Butler. Yo, what's going on? Man, I can't stand him. Man.
I just can't bang with him.
He get on my nerves. He ain't saying the things I want to hear. He ain't doing the things I want to see. All right.
He's like, I can't coach him. You know why? Because he takes too much time out of practice. I say you do something wrong, he'll get his notebook. He's like, what'd you say, coach? Okay. Elam, let's go. Nah, I got to write this down. I got to get this for later.
He keeps filling up one book in one day. He's got to go home and get another composition book.
Coach, I ran out of paper. What do I do?
Elam, stop putting pictures in the notebook, bro. Just write. You got like one whole page full of pictures right now.
Shorthand.
Shorthanded, right.
So no, to your conversation piece, yes. I mean, this is huge in regards to the culture change that we haven't seen in the last 8 years.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
For me, I think this is probably the thing that I've wanted the most for the Bills 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to an AFC Championship game, and that's the point when you continue to do stuff like this. And I know that kind of sounds crazy. Give me a chance to clarify here before you leave the show. But what I mean is the Bills, because of the history and because of the cap situation, were forced to start making these moves that show a change in belief or a change in function, right? But I think a lot of the stuff that they've done this year, the Chiefs have already done, right? Mm-hmm. The Patriots were doing during their dynasty,
right?
And nobody was blinking twice because guess what? The NFL's a business. And if we want to stay good down the line, like you've been saying this whole entire time, you have to have a pipeline. You have to have a farm system of young guys that are going to be up and coming that you can put in there after 2 years of learning and developing behind a veteran that you've had there being a starter for 5.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That way, the turnover doesn't hurt so much.
Right.
And instead of doing that, you fell in love with the family environment, the camaraderie and all that kind of stuff that, you know, created the atmosphere that you and the owner loved and all that kind of stuff. And you allowed your emotions to dictate those moves, in my opinion. Right? To me, it's not a logical decision to decide to run it back.
No, never. Especially when you didn't win.
Right, that's what I'm
you
saying.
Didn't win. You didn't get to the 10. You didn't even get close. So
exactly.
No, you don't run that back.
Exactly. So, you know, I think this is something that, you know, even though it came to a head because it has to, I'm going to be interested to watch it. I'm also going to be just as interested, if not more interested, to see how they proceed going into 2025. And I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves at that point, but these are the things that you see the Bills now, having to think about. It's not just this year, you know, this offseason, this 2024 season, trying to win it all. It's we got to get ready for the next 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So I love it. Roster surgery part 2. I'll take it all day long. They signed. Who did they sign? They signed somebody else today.
Today?
Yeah. Who did they sign?
While you look that up,
yeah,
I want everybody to relax on Taylor Rapp's contract.
It's not that bad.
It's really not, and it doesn't mean what people think it means. I mean, 3 years, $14 million. And I think I texted you about what Joe Marino said yesterday when he's like, you know, when we first got him, I was happy about it, but now I'm like 3 years, $14 million for that guy. Let's evaluate the contract. The contract actually has an out after this year, so he's
snap.
He's technically not even guaranteed to be a starter. I mean, 3 years, $14 million. If they cut him after this season, he's only a $1.3 million dead cap.
Okay.
He's only counting $2.8 million against the cap this year. So they, all intents and purposes, could go try to find somebody better at the safety position, both safety positions actually, where you could get a guy like your guy, James Williams, if he's there. And hey, let's get fancy. Let's go ahead and re-up the safety tandem from Miami. Get your guy James Williams and my guy Cam Kinchins. I mean, hey, that'd be nuts.
They would have to go 2 and 3 though. Second and third round, they would have to.
They
would have to.
Yeah, but if we knocked that Brian Thomas out of the park in the first round,
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think it should be made to be complicated at all. You know what I mean? I think, second and third round, if you got to move up a couple of spots to do it, but we're talking about the ability to bring in a safety tandem that can be the backbone of your defense for the next 7 to 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, you could easily fit in if you picture a 6'5" Jordan Poyer, and you picture another guy in Micah Hyde ilk. And they're both, 21, 22 years old.
Right.
How do you lose? So, and they play together already. So they know each other very well. I can see a wild world where we come away out of this draft with some really heavy hitters. So.
They got to fit the mold, though. Like, there's, let me see. There's talk that Xavier Legette might be more of a fit for the Bills. What's your thought on how he fits an air raid offense?
I could see him in an air raid offense. He's not my favorite pick for it, but I could see him in an air raid offense in the sense that he has the ball tracking, so he has downfield ability. He has what it takes to take the top off a defensive ask. Don't get confused with the 6'2", what is it, 6'1", 6'2", 230 frame. Mm-hmm. He does have elite gazelle speed. For Legette, with me, the
what did
drawback,
he run, 4.35 or something like that?
Yeah, like a 4.38, I think.
Okay, that's nice.
But for me, with Legette, the drawback for him was his body catches. He catches the ball with his body more than I would like him to. If you watch his tape, it looks like he sells out for, even at the combine, when he ran the gauntlet drill, he had a couple of drops because he was trying to catch it with his body. When he ran a second time, it seemed like he was more focused on trying to get to the hands, and that worked out better for him. Okay. Just going back to our pipeline here with our weird conversation about having Cam Kinchins and your guy James Williams. Guess who was a coach in Miami when they were there?
When Kinchins and
Williams was there.
Is it our current DB?
Jamil Adai, our current secondary coach.
Really?
He was their coach from 2022 to 2023. So 2 seasons with both of them.
Yo.
So,
do you understand? Like, I pinned. Wait, did I pin this? I don't know if I pinned it, but I put the comment in the chat. Top 3 proudest moments as a Bills fan. Mm-hmm. If we end up getting both of these dudes,
that would go on your list.
That would easily go on my list instantly, right at the top.
I get it. I mean, I can't argue it. I mean, I just thought about it when I was sitting here talking about the potential of having both of them on the team. But yeah, he was their coach last year and the year before that. So
Kinchins looks like he's got a little bit of Ed Reed in him, man.
Yeah.
Like, and his ability to play the run too.
Yeah.
I would be so excited. I don't think anybody. I don't think
you're excited right now.
Most people. I'm very excited right now at the prospect of having both of those guys. I don't typically get excited for, safety tandems, but man, you talking about a lockdown safety tandem. I think that safety tandem could be way better than Hyde and Poyer.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, maybe not day one, but of course.
Huh?
I said maybe not day one, but of course. Give them time.
Oh, right.
I mean, could you imagine a world where you have, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a world where, I don't know. I was going to say a world where Elam and those two with Benford as our back four. I mean, that'd be interesting. And everybody, Elam
I just want to
sucks,
see
man.
Elam on the field, baby. If that's all it took was getting the dude out the door and hiring another defensive coordinator, is that like if that's all it took?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be hot. I'm gonna be kind of upset because
I would
Sean let it happen.
I would be upset, but I'd be happy at the same time. It's finally is here.
Right, we get to see
It's finally here.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Now, if we got those two, it may not occur because Benford would be relegated to the cornerback 2 position, and that would push Kyer as the backup again because they just restructured Rasul. So, saving that 2.5, he's on the field, and plus he showed it last year why he should be on the field. So, I can't argue with him being there. So it's a good problem to have if you ended up in that situation. I would love it. Right. So. Did you see Daquan Jones tweeted out earlier today?
What?
Twitter family, you know what I know, so I don't know what to tell you. Ha ha. That's behind everybody saying, when are you gonna sign? When are you coming back? Blah, blah, blah. What's happening?
Listen, they got the fat dude in there, Fadukasi.
They signed. That's who they signed.
He's visiting.
Okay, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about that. I text you about you. You talked to me, and I'm like, I still don't. I don't feel that great about it.
I wasn't trying to make you feel great.
No, you weren't. You gave me the honest truth. I said, because it's funny you confirmed what I saw. I watched tape while I was asking you, and I'm like, yeah, nah. Right. I looked at the scouting report. Nah. Yeah. This ain't it.
MID. Mid. All right, what else we got?
I think for now I have exhausted pretty much what I have. I may have something else down the pipe, but not right now.
Okay, let's get to producer cues.
Producer cues.
What you got?
So now that Travis Kelce has he has 3 rings now, 4.
He has 3.
3.
Wait, does he? Yeah, 3, right?
2.
2.
Is it 2 or 3?
No,
3.
Because
yeah,
whatever.
He's got 3.
Okay.
Now that he has 3, where does Travis Kelce fit as the greatest
tight end?
of all time? Does he surpass Gronkowski or does he?
Nah, Gronk's got like 4 or 5 rings.
He's got a million. Now, the question, guys at home, if you didn't hear him, he has now that Travis Kelce has 2 or 3 rings. I'm sorry. Does he surpass Gronk and where is he placed on the list of all time tight ends? For me, I don't go based on accolades. I think if I had to just go based on my own rubric, I would probably still put Gronk ahead of him. Mm-hmm. Not just because he went to Williamsville North, not because I'm partial to the Buffalo boy. No, honestly, he was a good player. He was a solid player. He was their number 1 target for a long while.
Yeah.
For a long time, the offense went the way of him and Brady, and I'm hoping for a long time our offense goes the way of Allen and Kincaid. Mm-hmm. I obviously I'm a fanboy of Dawson Knox, but I mean, like I told you last year, Kincaid was my number 1. He was the guy I loved the most out of the whole draft.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm slating my guy for going with my guy. They're my twin sons. But yeah, to answer your question, I think Gronk is okay. So Gronk is we're saying he's the best of all time. Is that what we're saying?
I think he should be.
Okay, so where does Tony Gonzalez fall?
Well, where's his? He's got the receptions record for. No,
I think Gronk has it now, but he used to. He had it for a long time.
Okay, and yards. Gronk's got that too.
Gronk should have that too.
Okay, so Gronk, yeah, it's got to be Gronk. I mean,
Tony
Gonzalez would have to be. Yeah, but Gonzalez doesn't have any chips, does he?
Okay, I wasn't prepared for any of this. Let me.
I'll look it up.
No, I got it because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually rank them. I'm going to go with the best ranking I can find. So if you want to do that, you can. But I am going to sign in here and work my magic.
Okay. Let me see. Tony Gonzalez. He's never made it to a Super Bowl.
That's all. What's the guy's fault? What's his quarterback? What was the quarterback's name?
Trent Green?
Yeah. It's all his fault.
Think so?
No, but no, but I mean, to fulfill my narrative, yes.
Yeah, he's got 14 Pro Bowl appearances. He came close during an NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers in 2012.
Okay, so you're saying
I think he does have to go behind Kelce at this point then.
Probably. But I mean, to be fair, he was in a lesser passing league back then too.
That's also very true.
Let's see. So receptions. I'm just gonna do where he ranks so far. Period.
But I think that's why Gronk gets my vote over anybody else. Like for me, Gronk was the most physically imposing. He was the best blocking tight end. He's
multifaceted.
Right. He had the hands of a Kelsey. Mm-hmm. I've seen that man make amazing one-handed catch just against the Bills alone. Right. And for him to be able to do that at 6'5", almost 270 pounds, like it's just insane. It's insane for that kind of athleticism, that kind of precision in catching the ball, that blocking ability, all of that to exist in one dude. Mm-hmm. And for him to also, hey, by the way, be the focal point of an offense.
Right.
So
right.
He's Kelsey and then some. He's got to be the greatest of all times.
Well, Tony Gonzalez does have the most. He still has the receptions record.
Okay, I thought he still had one of those records.
Yeah, he has that. Let's see, yardage. Because I'm actually using StatHead. It is a paid subscription, so if you guys are interested, you can build all sorts of crazy stuff on here. Yeah, Gonzalez is still the top in receiving yards, top in receptions, number 2 in touchdowns, yards per no big deal. I'm not going to go into that.
Antonio Gates got the touchdown record.
Yeah, show off. But no, I think Rob Gronkowski is definitely.
He's third in touchdown receptions.
Yeah, he's definitely still, to your question, Mr. Producer Man, just behind Gronk for Kelsey.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. I think if he can, and this might still be a tough conversation just because of all the different ways that Gronk could win a game or dominate an opponent, mm-hmm. whereas Kelsey is just beating you in the passing game. I still, even if they had the same number of championships, I still might say Gronk at that point. Right. I think it would probably take Kelsey breaking all of Gonzalez's records and having the same amount of championships as Gronk for me to have to say, okay, stat wise, you have to give it to Kelsey because he's put better numbers up in his career. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we have. Well, let me stop fanboying on Tony Gonzalez. I went down a rabbit hole here. Actually, I can do all three if you're interested. Kelsey,
yeah, do it.
Let's do that. Travis Kelsey, Jason Kelsey was crying. I was emotional. I love the guy now. I never paid a lick of attention to him the whole career, but now he's one of us. He's one of our fellow Bills Mafia guys. So let's see. Let's see. Gronk, four championships to Kelsey's 3. Gronk has 5 Pro Bowls to Kelsey's 9. He has 4 All-Pros to Kelsey's 7. Obviously, tough. Tony Gonzalez still has 14 Pro Bowls, so he's in the lead of Pro Bowls and All-Pro appearances. Let's see. Tony Gonzalez leads the 3 out in receptions, receiving yards. But not yards per reception. I think he also had the longest career. So they got to take that into account. Most touchdowns. He actually had the most rushing yards out of the 3 too. I never thought I'd see him run, but whatever. Priest Holmes was supposed to be doing that. So yeah, I mean that's a good question. This actually is a great comparison.
Yeah,
and you have to do some in-depth scouting analysis because people. With the Jordan versus everybody, thing. Who has the most rings? End all, be all.
Man, see me when Kelsey get more than 16 kick return yards. Then he could touch Gronkowski.
See, that's where we go.
Bet y'all didn't know that.
Bet y'all didn't know
3
that.
3 kick returns for 16 yards.
Thanks, StatHead.
They ain't touching Gronk. Come on now.
He's not. So yeah. What else you got? Any other questions?
This one's about Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
The Giants will not use the franchise tag on Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Which team should sign Saquon Barkley?
Which team should sign Saquon Barkley?
Not the Bills.
No.
Let's see. Saquon Barkley. Who does Dallas have these days?
That's actually the guy that people think Bucky Brooks thinks he
Really?
Yeah, Dallas should
Oh
sign
man,
Saquon.
me and Bucky. Oh man, I can't answer my own question, but I can tell you where you should go. We got a question from T-Jab. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What do you guys think about the visit from Foley Fatukasi yesterday? I think he'll replace the potential pick of Tavondre Sweat. Ooh, he cut you deep. He cut you real deep. Tavondre Sweat in the second round. Imagine moving to pick Byron Murphy. Trading up for Byron Murphy. Now, see, this is where I'm going to go with this. Had Ed Oliver not done what he did last year, had Ed Oliver, played his fifth year and been out of here, you know what? No, I still wouldn't go with Byron Murphy. If I wanted to replace Ed Oliver, it would definitely be Braden Fisk. That's the guy I would take if I had to replace Ed Oliver. Tavondre Sweat.
Wait, Oliver or Jones? Because he's talking about.
No, he's talking about. Yeah, he's asking if how would we imagine moving up for Byron Murphy, and Byron Murphy is a 3-tech. So I would, and this is my Lab McConkey type deal. Mm-hmm. If you got talent like Braden Fisk, they're sitting at whatever your second or in the second range that you can get to. I'm moving up to get them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it if I didn't have Ed Oliver.
Right.
But to the question asked, I think trying to replace, that one tech, I'm still going with Daquan Jones. I want Daquan Jones back. I don't care. I don't care if he has if he's making $8-9 million, work it out.
Really?
I don't care. When he got hurt last year, a top 5 defensive tackle in the league, and look what Ed Oliver did next to him. What he did for Terrell Bernard, what he did for Matt Milano.
I mean, I get it. I think I don't know if I haven't seen enough from Daquan Jones for me to say Oliver can only play like that next to Jones.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's not the case. But I think if you're putting Jones, somebody that knows the system, somebody that we've seen, it's probably going to sit next to Javon Miller. He's finally going to sit next to either that if Epinesa comes back next year. I mean, right now, if we get to $30 million in cap space, I can see a world where he's that last free agent that didn't get what he thought he was going to get, and come back to Buffalo. I could see it. Do I want it? I'm okay with it if it occurred. But yeah, I think Daquan Jones is definitely a catalyst to get Matt Milano, who was on a what do you call it, out of otherworldly pace if he wouldn't have gotten hurt last year. And I really put that stock on Daquan Jones to get the front seven going.
So for me, I think I really love Tavondre Sweat first and foremost. And I don't think Foley could ever replace a guy like Sweat. I don't even think Foley can replace a guy like Daquan Jones.
Exactly.
He has almost no pass rush. He's strictly a run stopper. He's good at his job as a run stuffer.
He's very good at run stuffing, yeah.
Right?
Very good at it.
Again, depending on what you can get him for, that's a guy that you got to take off the field on third downs. You don't have to do that with a guy like Daquan Jones, and you wouldn't have to do that with a guy like Tavondre Sweat. So I think for me, I'm looking at Sweat as my number one option of what I want. If I can't get him, then I need Daquan Jones, because I don't know who else is going to be able to come in here and have the same impact as either Jones or Sweat. Just from a size and skill set and ability standpoint, I don't know of anybody else that's out there that we wouldn't have to pay an arm and a leg for to get to come in here and do that.
I mean, just looking at in your point about run stuffing. In 2023, he had 3 tackles for loss. 2022, he had 2 tackles for loss. 2021. Yep. And these are games he started. He started 16 games last year. Started 13 games in 2022. 2021, He started 15 games, only had 5 tackles for loss.
Right.
And if he's not getting sacks, evident by his career 4.5 sacks in 6 years, I mean, you're talking about vet minimum backup. He's
Right.
not. Yeah, he's not going to be highly regarded. I can
Right.
see us waiting to the end of the free agent market in order to do something with him.
Right. And the other thing that worries me too about signing a guy like Foley is strategically, if you have to pull him off the field on third downs, you're at that point you're tipping your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You're tipping we're going all pass rush, right? If you leave him on the field, guess what? Now teams will be able to, pinpoint that and okay, well let's try and go with a screen on his side. He can't run.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a pass rusher either. He's not going to get to the quarterback in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just kind of opens up too much opportunity for, defenses to kind of dictate to the Bills what they're going to do on normal pass rushing down and distance. So I just, naturally I don't like the idea of any one tech that you have to, worry
Right.
about taking off the field on third
Right.
downs.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I could see a world where people, are like, okay, this is a cheap replacement, but I mean, with the last events we've had, Von Miller and the cuts that we made, there's money to spend. Not foolishly, but there's more money than we thought when we were talking about Foley Fadakasis and people like that.
Yeah.
Asking you a question though, what was his question? Saquon, we did Saquon. What did you think?
Okay, so I think Saquon could benefit from going to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would get the Dalvin Cook love in that situation just because defenses have to worry about just in there. So even if you were to sign a guy like Russell Wilson to go there and you got Saquon Barkley, now you've got a running game and something that Russell Wilson can depend on. You also have an offensive line that is, getting better, and they have an offensive-minded head coach. Usually offensive-minded head coaches know how to build an offensive line. So that's only going to help Saquon Barkley. He won't see 8-man boxes anymore. He'll be able to, run against 7-man boxes like any running back would love to. And I think that would be a good spot for him. The other place where I think he would highly benefit from being a part of, the Texans.
What? Devin Singletary, man. What?
Producer, can you cut his mic? Can you just?
What? Are you serious? The highly sought after guy.
Him and Damian Pierce can go out the window of a moving train. I don't think there's a more appealing spot for any running back to go right now than the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
With the passing game that they have a great left tackle in Laramie Tunsil, and their offensive line played a lot better this year. They're only going to get better this coming season. So I think as a running back going into that system, when defenses are going to be scared to death of the pass,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be a running back in that system. You just do.
And not to mention they got $60 million to spend.
100%. If he goes there,
He's going
the
to
AFC's got another team to worry about.
Yeah.
They got another team to worry about.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're formidable as it is, and we'll see what they do in the draft. So,
Right.
So out of all the guys that got cut, who cut you the deepest?
I think the only one I winced at and made a face. This is gonna shock you. This is gonna shock you. Saran Neal. Saran Neal. To me, that's a guy that you want in case you don't have somebody that can, in case Terrell Bernard gets hurt and you need somebody to cover Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bigger corner.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not the kind of corner that can play outside.
Right.
He's a nickel guy, but he's big enough to kind of be a quasi linebacker in that defense and guard a guy like Travis Kelce. Now, they haven't shown enough trust in him to use him in that way,
Right.
but that's a guy that, if he was playing in a Lou Anarumo defense, he would definitely have that role because they did the same thing with the 6'3" corner they had there. So I don't think it, like Mitch Morse. I knew that was coming.
You did.
The Trey White thing, I believed you, but I was in denial about. The Jordan Poyer thing was shocking, but I loved it. I loved it because I really didn't want him coming back to begin with, to be honest. You know what I mean? I wanted to just rip that Band-Aid off last year.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and I think who else left? Ryan Bates,
gone, Micah Hyde's gone, Bates gone.
Yeah, but those are contract expires.
Yeah, we knew that was coming back.
Right. I think the Bates thing for me, I wanted Morse to get cut and have Bates step into that position.
That's what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, they threw us for a loop with that one.
Right, but I mean, they got a 5th-round pick out of it, and if it helps them get the receiver that we need, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah,
I would absolutely trade a swing tackle for a number 2 wide receiver or a number 1B wide receiver all day long.
Definitely.
Right.
I think for me it was actually Hyde. Not Hyde, Poyer. I mean, the contract was a fashion that they could easily get out of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think in my heart of hearts I could see him playing next to somebody that was a full-time starter, not Micah Hyde.
It wouldn't be the same. It wasn't
be
the same.
No, it'd be like a dad playing with a son at this point. It's like literally I got to put you where I need you to go. But in doing so, I sat here and
hey boy, right here.
Wrong hat. He like, yo, wrong hat. What do I do, Dad? Stand there.
He'll slap him upside the back of the helmet.
Exactly. Now, so I ran numbers to see, just where they stood in terms of, where Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer. I can't get this man a tribute without even get his name right. But in games started, all time, I think Jordan Poyer he played. Where is he? He was 39th all time in Bills games played and started. If you look at most interceptions, he was 4th all time in Bills history in most interceptions at 22.
Like 4 every year. This dude.
Yeah, I mean, fumbles forced. You guys got to bear with me. It's loading. We don't have that premium business.
Yeah, we actually do.
Snap! My bad.
I don't know why it's doing that.
In fumbles forced, Jordan Poyer is tied for 11th all time in fumbles forced. Now this is Bruce Smith number 1, Cornelius Bennett number 2, Schobel 21, Schobel 3. So this tells you what kind of company this guy is in his 7 years in Buffalo, and all-time tackles.
That is taking a while to load. That's weird.
It's a lot of information, I guess. All-time tackles. He's number 2 in solo tackles all time.
Jeez.
Only behind London Fletcher. Number 2.
How the heck is Terrence McGee number 3 on this list?
Because they threw the ball to the side all the time.
They did. They did not respect him at all.
They didn't at all. I mean, you're talking about, if you're talking about tackles for loss as a safety. Number 11. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. 35? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's if
behind
you didn't appreciate
London Fletcher
Jordan Poyer,
again.
Yeah, London Fletcher was that dude.
It's looking like Jordan Poyer is London Fletcher light.
And the thing is, on the last three tabs I showed you, what other cornerbacks or safeties did you see? So in tackles for loss, and I bet you if I did safety sacks, he'd be up there as well.
He's the only DB on this list.
Exactly. So, I mean, this guy, he did it. He paid his dues.
Unless there's somebody further down. Oh no, Brian Scott. Brian Scott was a safety.
Yeah, he was a safety. Yep. But they used him as that linebacker. That was that quasi experiment hybrid before hybrid existed. He was probably the prototype for that hybrid.
Yeah.
But I mean, this dude. It's presumptuous, but I can see a world where Jordan Poyer actually makes a Wall of Fame.
Man, I want a defensive tackle like Sam Adams again, man.
Of course.
That would be so nice.
Who wouldn't want Sam Adams, Pat Williams, or somebody? Who wouldn't? I would love it.
Don't patronize me.
I'm not.
Don't
I'm dead serious.
Me. Who wouldn't want?
No, I'm dead serious. Sam Adams was a dog, and believe it or not, we actually did. Let's see, you put it in. Yeah. So to guard no, that's the wrong thing. Top proudest moments is a bill. So in doing that, I had to try to not go to low hanging fruit.
Which was what, the playoffs?
No, Sam. Heck no.
Oh, really?
You're not gonna tear me to shreds on that. No. No.
You think about my reactions way too much, just so you know. Like, no, I'm not giving him the dignity of killing me on this decision. No.
No, but I was thinking about what did Sam Adams do? What was his biggest play in Bills history? And it didn't make my list. Against the Patriots, the interception, return for the touchdown, 330-pound man running down the field with a cavalcade of blockers to the score. I mean, I said, was I proud to be a Bills fan that day? Oh, yeah, we won 31-0.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting it on my list. Not doing it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know how you want to do this. Guys, if you're watching, please feel free to give us your top 3. You put it in the chat. We'll read them off, and we'll kind of reminisce over these moments so we can remember them. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything that everybody agrees with. It's just for fun. Just want to know what you guys remember and what made you love the Bills the way you do.
Okay. My number 1 overall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you ranked them. Wow.
My number 1 overall. I only got 3. Beating the Rams and Jalen Ramsey with a last-second touchdown in 2020.
Oh, who was it? Who was the tight end there? In the left side of the end zone. You talking about?
Oh yeah, that was
what was his name? Because he was only here for like a hot second.
Was it Chandler?
Mm-mm.
No, it was.
It was the guy they got from. Didn't they get him from St. Louis? Hold on.
No, he came from the Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah. What was his name?
I'll find it.
Okay.
I will find it. Because this is important.
Yeah. That touchdown. There was a touchdown before that we needed, I think, just to
wait. That was against the Rams, wasn't it? That was a game against the Rams, right?
I don't remember if that was. See, we need Lindsay to be on here.
We can do this without her. We can do this.
We're gonna try.
I'm sweating. Best.
If I'm not mistaken, it was either the last touchdown caught by Diggs or it was the second to last touchdown that was caught by Diggs on Jalen Ramsey. It was extremely tight coverage. And somehow Diggs is able to wiggle loose, and Josh Allen just threw a dart, kind of really low, and Ramsey just couldn't get to it in time.
And it was Tyler Kroft.
Tyler Kroft, that's what it was. Yeah, and then I think, if this is the same game, then yes, Tyler Kroft, at the end of that game, caught the game-winning go-ahead touchdown for the Bills, to seal it.
We got another comment.
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. I told y'all McDermott for president. Look what he did. Now we are ready for the Super Bowl. This is from our friend Rich.
They know. They know by now. They know who that is, and I'm fine with it. I'm getting vertigo at this point in time. Just thinking about the fury that I'm trying to you getting lightheaded with
refrain from unleashing on this.
Just taking over the whole show with that.
Oh my God.
And the reason why I bring that up, because you remember how that played out, right? Wasn't that a crucial, was it 3rd or 4th down where Von Miller knocked down Tyrod Taylor and then he taunted him, so we got the 15-yard penalty for the first down?
Wait.
Because remember, Von Miller hit Tyrod Taylor and Tyrod was on the ground.
I'm talking about 2020.
That wasn't the game where was that the Broncos?
So 2020 was Josh Allen, Brian Daboll.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Von Miller. I think that might have been the Broncos actually, but
okay.
Where you remember where he reached down to help Tyrod up, and when Tyrod reached, he did like this, and we got
right. Yeah.
And they were like friends. They're just messing around, and so I got my games messed up. But
that was 2017
because we won that game too based on that play.
Right. But yeah, the 2020 game, that was the game where, my wife stood up in the middle of the game. She went to go to the kitchen and she's just like, who are we right now? And I'm like thinking the same exact thing to myself, like, yo, this is amazing that this
Right.
team is playing against the defending Super Bowl champion. Or I don't think they won it, but they had gone.
Yeah, they just went.
Right, they had just gone to the Super Bowl and lost to the Patriots. But they were still a great team at that point. You know what I mean? For everybody they had on defense and every, all the stars they had on offense, they were an elite team. And for the Bills to perform the way that they did, just to get in position to make that last touchdown to Tyler Kroft, they had to convert. It was like a 3rd and 20 or something like that. So some astronomical number, but they did it twice on that drive, right? And we even got the benefit of a penalty call at the end of that game. So I'm like, I'm at this point, I'm flabbergasted. I'm not understanding.
Like,
right, we get a call. The Bills get a call. Like this was the moment for me where I was like, the Bills have arrived. We got to the playoffs, right? And then 2019 we missed, but we got our quarterback of the future. People are starting to really talk about the Bills being a great team, and then we beat the Rams.
Right.
Then it was official after that point. Now we get news coverage. Now people starting to talk about Josh Allen. People are calling the Bills the cardiac kids again. Because I think 2020 we had like 3 or 4 different, comeback from go ahead touchdown games in the fourth quarter at the end of the fourth quarter. Caitlin says I was shocked. Yeah, because we hadn't seen anything like this ever.
Yeah, you got an impeccable memory because I'm actually looking at the play-by-play. Fourth quarter, 3 minutes 20 seconds ago, they had a 3rd and 22. Josh Allen completes deep to Cole Beasley for 22 on the dot. To Taylor Rapp was a tackler. So he was there. And then you go down further to 31 seconds left in the game, 3rd and 25. Josh Allen pass complete deep middle to Stephon Diggs for 17. 4th and 8, Josh Allen pass incomplete to Gabriel Davis. Penalty on Darius Williams, defensive pass interference. With 21 seconds left, 1st and 3 on the Rams 3. Josh Allen completes to Tyler Kroft for a 3-yard touchdown.
My goodness. And then just wonderfulness ensues after that point. It was delicious, man. It was, oh my gosh, it was great. But yeah, to me that is what started the rise of the brand of the Buffalo Bills. That's when I became my proudest version of a Buffalo Bills fan, because we really had something. It wasn't origami paper like the Fitzmagic teams were, and the Trent Edwards teams. They fizzled out after like 5 games or 7 or 8 or 10 games or whatever. Right. When Fitz got that rib injury, to me it was like, man, we finally arrived. We finally have a franchise QB. We finally are legit contenders. That was the game that pushed me over the top. So that's my number 1.
Okay. Let's see. I think for me, top moments of being a Bills fan, and I don't have it listed. I do have more than 3, so we may get to more than 3. I'm sorry, I got carried away.
I mean, you might remind me of something too. You never know. One
of my top moments for being a Bills fan made me more of a Bills fan. Yesterday's roster movement. Yesterday's roster movement made me feel really good about being a Bills fan. Just the fact that we weren't running it back.
Sitting there with your glass. This is nice.
This is nice.
This is really nice.
All the old heads, all the guys we're moving on. Finally. This is excellence. We don't have Taylor Medikevich as a core special teamer. We don't. This is excellence. And we don't have Mitch Morris. This is excellence. I said Trey White, okay. That's a residual thing. That's collateral damage because he couldn't stay healthy.
Still got to deal with Justin Shorter being a special teamer, a core special teamer. But this is great.
But this is excellence. They got rid of Saran Neal. Okay, we're working here.
Right.
And then Von Miller, with regards to his comment, like, all right,
Yeah.
This is nice. We got Cap. I was looking at the Cap. I'm up here looking at Greg Tomstead doing all this stuff, and I'm like, you got nothing. I got nothing. Nobody got nothing.
So basically, what you're saying is, as long as they do right by the Cap, they're gonna be allowed in the house.
They're gonna be allowed in the house. This is nice. Because you think about it, regardless of what they do at this point in time, you're going to get your draft picks. You're going to get your core young players that are on the team already. You got room to make extensions if you wanted to. You can bring in a veteran if you want to. Not a whole bunch of them, not on crazy contracts, but this is nice. Even the Trubisky signing.
Yeah, that was really nice.
After finding out that it was more than 1 year, because what was I screaming for? Give me a backup more than a year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a weird way, he's longer than 2 years because he was here already. He knows the system, kind of, because he's seen it on tape. And he saw when we played against him.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's going to be invested. I mean, I'm like, who are these dudes? Don't want Kyle Allen's? No Case Keenum's? If Josh Allen gets hurt and I got to go with Trubisky and we got Steph Diggs, I'm sure Brady can figure something out to use him. I'm sure I don't have to turn that game off. At the very least,
he can run.
Exactly.
Right.
And if worst case scenario, maybe we'll have no, but Giselle, you're still going to be on practice squad. I don't want to hear it. But maybe we'll have a late round rookie. Maybe we still will get Joe Milton. Doubt it, but maybe we will get a quarterback that we didn't see falling out of favor in the draft and being an undrafted free agent.
Right.
But that's your practice squad player. And if he don't work out, cut him and get another one. That's how that works. And when I see how they construct the practice squad, when I see how they run their roster going forward, I'm really going to be empowered with what they do.
Okay. That was awesome, by the way. That was really, really good. I didn't expect that at all. All right. Second all-time proud moment as a Buffalo Bills fan.
Mm-hmm.
Fitz and the crew beating the Patriots with the last-second field goal.
I knew you were going to say that.
In Buffalo.
And now it's another one. I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
I teared up, bro. I couldn't believe it. Being stepped on, sat on, noogied, swirlied, stuffed in the toilet for years and years and years by that team. And then to finally, like The Rock says, finally beat that team with Tom Brady. Yeah. None of these quirky, you beat, whoever the backup was.
Season when they're already in the playoffs and the wild card.
Right. You beat them head up through grit and blood and sweat and tears. You finally got these dudes. Mm-hmm. That I mean, it was sad, in reality, but that was a Super Bowl for us. Every game against that team was a Super Bowl for us because we had to play such perfect football in order to beat that team. We just were never good enough to do it while making mistakes. And with that team, I didn't even care if we won or lost. I just wanted to beat the piss out of them. Right. I wanted them to know they played the Bills. And that was my thing when we talked about it months ago, and I said, even when we sucked, we were soft. Yeah. And if we were a team that, that smacked you in the mouth and we lost every game, I'd have been fine. And that's how you had to play the Patriots. And when we did, like with that game, you're demonstrating. And Fitzpatrick was the guy with the personality to do it. Yeah. He believed in himself when he probably shouldn't have most times. Right. He's gonna make this throw. No, you're not. No, watch me. Interception. Listen, that wasn't on me.
I mean, I'm trying to tell you, I had it.
Right. Just a split second late, but I'm gonna get it there next time. I promise you.
I'm gonna use my big toe next time to get to the last torque. That man had a hernia every time he had to throw the ball downfield. Oh,
he did. He looked like he was throwing his whole body out.
He almost dislocated his shoulders, his clavicles, his collarbones, esophagus. Everything was out of whack when he had to go to the chiropractor every time.
I was just thinking that every single game he was going to the chiropractor right after.
I mean that actually was when I had to fight to put on my list too, because T actually called me while I was working. And she cried. And T. Yo. And you know how she is with sports.
That was a moment, bro. That was great.
I mean, that scream is legendary. Yeah. They played that for the rest of the year.
We did.
Oh, my God. Howard Simon, Jeremy, but they loved that scream. Bulldog or so. They loved that scream. And it was like.
Man, I remember, too. I was on my way home from work right before they kicked the ball. And I was listening to it on the radio. And I knew I was gonna miss the kick, and I was kind of upset though. But I pulled up, and I was listening to the game and I knew they were about to kick, but then it was like, oh, we're going to commercial. Oh, for reals? Yo, I jetted out of the car, ran into the house. Caitlin had the door open for me, and she had everything set. Like, oh, both screen door was unlocked, just run in and turn right around the corner and watch the TV. Right as I got in the living room, they had finally set, and seconds later, the ball gets snapped, the kick goes up, and that's it. And just craziness and flags flying everywhere and confetti being thrown in the air. I was just, it was probably a little more emotional. Actually, no, I don't know if I can say it was a little more emotional than when we backed into the playoffs in 2017, because I know the way I talk about that year and that game, it sounds like I wasn't happy about it at all. To have broken the drought of making it to the playoffs, you best believe I had water in my eyes.
Believe it or not, I was mad we made the playoffs that year.
Really?
I was pissed.
Why?
Because what happened? You know, I mean, I saw what happened. I didn't want to be that team that celebrates, you know, getting into the playoffs and then getting dusted by a team that and you know, we played, and it was Jacksonville, and I'm like, we could beat them.
Yeah.
And then it ended up, what was it, 9-3?
It was
10-3, 9-3,
6-3, or 9-6.
Yeah, all we had to do was score a touchdown to win. That's all I remember.
Yeah. And
we got out Tyroded by Blake Bortles, and I mean, because see, the thing was, I knew that we weren't ready just yet to make a run. And when you come off 17 years, I want to like blow this out of proportion and make a run. You know, at least win a game or two.
I was just happy for it to be over, and then for us to be playing the Jaguars, which, you know, realistically was a manageable game that we should have won.
Yeah,
it's like we could have gone for it. Like I was just excited to be there.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even care how it happened. It happened, and then to show the players and their reaction for them watching the game and all that, I was emotionally invested in it. But still. Yeah. Compared to beating the Patriots, that Patriots game is probably a close second.
Yeah, I get it.
I just couldn't say, like, I don't even have making the playoffs or breaking the drought or whatever as one of my moments because, you know, in hindsight, I don't want that backing into the playoffs in that way or winning because somebody else got us there to be, you know, something that I hold high.
See, I think for me at that time it was more so I didn't, because I was still listening to Talking Heads and people like that, and I didn't want to hear, Buffalo, they made it. Told you they suck. They got a lot of help. I didn't want that narrative. They got a lot. I wanted us to get in. I wanted us to get us in. Right. I wanted us to be the division winners and get in there. You know, make a move. And when they said, "Oh, we're watching the play," Andy Dalton to Ty's boy, he broke one touchdown. And the Bills, I'm like, all right, cool for y'all. Now, just be prepared because I didn't know who they were going to play at the time, and I'm like, be prepared because when if y'all lose, it's gonna be bad.
Right.
You know, and I you know how I am. I get mad when I hear people talk about my teams in my city and stuff like that. So I'm like, I just wasn't ready for it. So it wasn't I was hating on it, but I just knew what was at stake.
Right. Right. All right. That was mine. What you got?
Mario Williams signing in Buffalo.
Ooh.
The reason why.
Okay.
Ralph Wilson was the owner.
Yeah,
Ralph was cheap as how you say as shit.
He never lied. Never lied.
When he had and at the time he was. I remember I had just started my job and there was a guy there that we talk football all the time. He was you know just big in the news and he still texts me every once in a while. Retired now, but he said, "Yo, what do you think about Mario Williams?" I'm like, "Yeah, right. Whatever. No way. It doesn't happen to us in Buffalo."
Then he walks right past you.
Right. Well, later on, yeah. But the thing is, I'm like, okay, Mario's in Buffalo. He's just in and out. They got him to get on the plane. They flew him in. He's humoring it. Wait, they're at Chefs? Wait, why is he still there? And I wasn't in Buffalo. I was in Chicago. Mm-hmm. I had a business meeting. I was like looking on my phone. I'm waiting for my flight to get back home. Like, yo, what's going on? What's happening? And they're he's still there.
Real quick, you ever been in Chefs?
No. Yeah.
It's not the most elegant place in the world.
No,
it's not. It doesn't even compare to like a chop house or like that's weird. That's weird. I mean, the food is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not amazing.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, if somebody from out of town say, "Hey, where should I go?"
I'm not saying chefs. I'm
Yeah,
not telling
if you
them
say I
to do
want
that.
Italian, I'd be like,
No.
people love it though. People love
There's
chefs.
there's a really good spot over on Kenmore. Forget the name of it, but
in Kenmore.
huh?
In
Yeah,
Kenmore?
In Kenmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have,
But
to,
anyway.
we'll have to Google Maps that. But no,
Yeah.
I might do it while we're on the show.
Yeah, I know. I've been
But no,
wanting to.
I think the Mario Williams thing was huge because before Mario, nobody wanted to come to Buffalo.
No.
Before Mario, Buffalo was an afterthought.
It was the chefs.
It was the chefs.
Because he went to chefs and had the spaghetti.
He was in the
With
bathroom.
the big old
missed his
meatballs.
flight.
Yeah, yep. He was hooked. Yeah, I
Was it-
gotta come back here. I'm gonna sign for 6 years. He was always clearing his throat too, wasn't he?
Just give up. Give up. It's not going to clear. You're a huge man with a low voice.
That would be hilarious if finally, in like year 6 of him being
It
here,
pops out
he
and he's like,
cleared
yeah,
his
so
throat and
anyway,
he sounds
yeah,
like Barry White. Yeah.
Yo.
Come to find out, it was the years of him being in Texas. The water was just bad down there. He finally gets up here with some good salt,
Right, got
water,
the salt water.
and it just clears his throat right
Yeah,
out.
so anyway, that's why I came to Buffalo. Because wait, who was talking? Who is that guy?
That ain't 90.
That ain't
better not be
94.
90.
That ain't him. But for Mario Williams saying in Buffalo, and I'm like, oh man, if I can get back to Buffalo, will he still be there? I'm flying in. I'm like, it's like I'm flying a plane. I'm at the mercy of the pilot. But I'm sitting back there and I get down there like Mario's still here. I'm like, no, he's not. So now I'm on my phone. Yo, he didn't leave yet. He didn't leave. And now they're talking about, oh, he's flying his girlfriend in, fiance, whatever the case may be. No jokes, please, people. We all know how that story ended.
When they said that, I was like, nah, he definitely ain't signing now. His girl gonna come here and be like,
That's what I said
it's a
too.
wrap. Yep.
But he had already been with Jim Kelly. He had already done all this stuff. I'm like, yo, what's happening? Then they said 96 mil. I said, nah. I said, nah, ain't no way. I said, nope, just let him go. But they said, no, he signed. I said, you, man, being, how can I put this? Being a defensive lineman, you know, and knowing what his size is and his strength and kind of, I mean, trust me, I'm not as strong as Mario Williams. And at that time, I wasn't even as big as Mario Williams. But the most comparable comparison to me was him. And I'm like, yo, this guy's in Buffalo. He's a sack man. You know, no more Aaron Sobels, no more of this nonsense they're talking about. This dude is bona fide, certified, #1 overall draft pick.
Right.
Yo. And then what did he bring with him? He brought Mark Anderson with him.
Yeah, he did.
You know, and so we're like, yo, now we're getting people to Shard Choice. I'm going to Buffalo. I mean, he really wasn't that great of a player, but the fact of the matter was other people, I'm going to Buffalo.
Right.
Mario was pulling people
wanted
in.
to come here.
Yeah. And you know, what's funny about the parallel is Mario Williams, when he came to Buffalo, was 27. Von Miller was 32. Mario Williams signed a $96 million contract. Von Miller signed a $120 million contract. If you what's the word? If you extrapolated against the interest rates of 2024, Mario Williams' contract was $130 million. So almost comparable to Von Miller's contract if they were at the same time. Did I do some research? Yes, I did.
Damn sure did, man. It's a great job.
But you know, I mean, the thing is, it was the first time in my life that I said, you know what, somebody wants to be in my hometown that has options.
Yeah.
And that meant everything to me. It didn't have anything to do with the games. It didn't have anything to do with anything else, but just the fact that for that moment in time, I'm in Chicago, and I feel like I'm watching national news, and my city's all over the place. It was everything. It was everything.
Wow.
What you got?
All right. Well, third and finally for me,
I got a couple more.
I got the AFC Championship game. Now, hear me out.
I'm hearing you.
Do we remember?
Bad question for me. I can look it up. No.
All right, I'll put
No,
it.
go
This
ahead. I'm
way.
just messing with you.
I'll put it this way. I think it was just as beneficial for the Bills brand to lose the game as it was for them to make the game, right? And when you look at who the Chiefs ended up playing in the Super Bowl, it was the 49ers that year, right? I don't think the Bills would have had a chance to beat that 49ers team after they had already seen him earlier in the season. If I'm not mistaken, he tore them up on Sunday night or Monday night, one of those games. He tore them up good, right?
Yeah, it's a Monday night game.
Huh?
Monday night game, we beat them by 10.
Yeah, so, I think being in the playoffs, that being Sean McDermott's, pinnacle or peak at that point in time, what happened in that Chiefs game, a lot of it from a Bills fan perspective was, had it not been for a couple of calls, we would have been far enough ahead of this team to like shock them. Like they hadn't seen us, all season long, so they wouldn't have been able, in my mind, those calls would have prevented the Chiefs from, coming back the way that they did. They were flat at the beginning of the game. It didn't seem like they could figure things out, and even in the second half, they didn't really dominate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They made a few plays here and there, and we were the ones that couldn't get past their defense, right? So, when I look at that game, I say that's the game that a lot of people started to really believe that the Bills were like here to stay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You go toe to toe with a team that was just in the Super Bowl a year before, and they were up and coming as this new dynasty, this new dominant team, and you almost took them in their house, right? Now, mind you, it was COVID year, so they didn't have fans,
right? But
that doesn't matter. Like, the Lakers still have their championship banner flying. The Bills could have had a ring, even with no asterisk.
I thought we were going to get it that year,
right? Yeah, exactly. So. Again, if I'm thinking about proud moments as a fan, I think, that moment when everybody had to watch the Bills and had to understand that we were a really, really good team, and we were at a point where we could still get so much better. Everybody completely agreed after that point in time, we got to watch out for the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
And once that became a consensus in the media, that's all I needed. That was a proud moment for me. Great job. Y'all finally brought some respect on the Buffalo Bills name. Now nobody can't sit there and talk trash about us all day long, and y'all ain't this and y'all ain't that, and y'all lost 4 Super Bowls, this and that and the other thing. Like, you had to respect that we were an up and coming team.
Yeah, you were lucky. You were that. Yeah, I mean that was a slap in the face, and that's exactly why the playoff snap, the drought snap, got me. Because somebody's always got something to say about the Bills. Somebody's always got, and going to college outside of New York, outside of Buffalo, I heard it. I knew what it was like to be a Bills fan displaced in the dark years.
Yep.
Obviously you do the math. I'll be 40 in April, and that means I was in college in 2002, 2003, 2004. Right. And what do you know about those years? Those years were tough for us. And I'm sitting in Pennsylvania where Philly's flying high. And they got a exciting defense with Brian Dawkins and Troy Vincent, and I got to sit here and deal with this. And I got to justify it because all my friends are from Philly. If Matt was here, he could tell you, he could attest to it the same. He didn't catch as bad as I did because I think they had enough of beating up on me before he got there. but I think, to my next point, which is it's my third, but definitely not my last, I think the proudest moment as a Bills fan was the 17 plus 14 equals 6 era. The exact same year you're talking about. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback who was an afterthought by Bills fans.
Yeah.
Who's in the draft? Who's the quarterback, though, if you listen to 550?
Who's
every
your quarterback,
time.
though?
Yep. and it's like, who's the receiver? Who do we have? We have nothing. And then all of a sudden, the Bills have traded a first-round draft pick. No! For Stephon Diggs. Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute. Josh Allen goes from what? Let's see. Josh Allen in 2019 through 4.
I think it was 20-something touchdowns, 19 maybe.
He went 21 for 271 for 461, 58%, 3,089 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Okay, Let's keep that in the back of our memory banks. His leading receiver was probably, let's see, who do we have? John Brown, Robert Foster, Andre Roberts, Cole Beasley, Duke Williams,
Zay Jones.
Zay mother freaking Jones. Put some respect on his name. Why is Lee Smith rated as a wide receiver? Anyway. Anyway.
He lost a significant amount of weight that
year. Andrew Hands. Right. To 2020, where Josh Allen, the afterthought, throws for 396 of 572 for 69.2%, 4,500 yards from scrimmage, 37 touchdowns, up from 20, one more interception. But guess what he had? Agent 14, who was 127 catches, 1,535 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Woo!
What a difference a day makes. So everybody say, get rid of him. Well, I mean, you could be better. But let's just go back to what it was before.
Right.
Mr. 14. But the reason why I say that is exactly what you were thinking. And while you were talking, I was like, man, you know what? I could echo his sentiments because now you have to respect Josh Allen. They got a number one receiver that nobody questions. It's not a makeshift guy. This is a guy that has commercials.
Right.
This is a guy that comes in and he's got swag.
Yep.
They lost because we're being laughed at. AB don't want to go to Buffalo. Ha ha. Wait, they got Steph Diggs.
That don't matter no more.
Right. What does it mean? Who else do they have? Gabe Davis. Whatever. Mm-hmm. You know. And the thing is, add Stephon Diggs to Cole Beasley, who now has 82 catches for 967 yards, 4 touchdowns, because he's not the number one guy anymore. Mm-hmm. Agent 14 takes over. JA17. The Winter Soldier comes.
Oof.
Now there's no more. Who's a quarterback though? No more of that. And you won't have to hear about that until about 50, because Josh Allen's gonna be our quarterback for the next 8 years.
Yep.
At least. I mean, come on now. This how can that make you proud as a fan? Now, everybody that watches the show, what is he talking about? He's a hypocrite. He doesn't even like Josh Allen. I don't think he's the next coming to the Messiah, but he's an elite quarterback, and I do tell you, he is the number 2 quarterback, if not number 1.
Yeah.
I don't care about Joe Burrow. I damn sure don't care about Jalen Hurts. If it's not Pat Mahomes, you gotta look at your boy Josh Allen.
Not even C.J. Stroud?
No.
Okay.
Not C.J. Stroud. Not my man Lamar. He's not up there with no.
Wait till Caleb Williams get in the league. Ain't nothing to throw. Ain't nothing to throw over there.
Huh?
What?
Oh, you had me? Okay. See, that was raw and unrehearsed. What you guys understand, we're not rehearsing this show at all. We come in, I fly in here, it's already set up. I sit down, download my notes, and we in here.
That's
live. If I mess up, you will know about it. Since you said Caleb Williams, what was the last dumb thing I heard about this guy? Did I touch on the fact that he said he didn't want to be drafted, or his dad doesn't want to be drafted?
You sent me that. Yeah, you sent me that.
Okay.
So he can pick wherever he wants to go. So he can pick
wherever he goes and reset the quarterback market. Let's see. There was other news.
So basically, he wishes he was still in the old collective bargaining agreement.
Yes. He wants to be what Cam Newton destroyed. Maybe that's the last thing he said, but no, it wasn't. But I don't feel like, you know what? I'm not even going to put enough effort into looking this clown up. He's not going to be a Bill, and I'm glad. Yeah, so I don't think, well, I know. As much as I regard Lamar Jackson, no, it's Josh Allen and it's Pat Mahomes. Now, if we could get over on Pat Mahomes every once in a while when it mattered, it really wouldn't be a conversation.
Yeah.
But for right now, all those memes about Josh Allen hoisting little kids on their shoulders with the little face. Mm-hmm. Right now, if you're being objective, Josh Allen's that little kid. Mahomes is a dad right now.
Right.
But we still got time to change that. Yeah. But yeah, I think for sure that's one. Now, if I'm going old school.
Okay.
What made me a Bill? My first home game in 1995 against the Houston Oilers on Christmas Eve.
Long time ago. Against the Oilers on Christmas Eve. I'll never forget it. Long time ago.
Dude.
95?
95. Junior, what were you doing in 95? Never mind.
You wouldn't even thought of.
Right. I don't think I knew how kids were made at that age.
Like Chappelle said, you was in my balls, son. Why is that a pause?
That can't be a pause.
It can't be. This is scientifically proven.
Correct.
Right.
It's just uncomfortable for the
listen,
young lad.
It's our show. We can say what we want to say.
Right. Hey, I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
Our producer is grossed out now. Sorry,
he can't believe that we just said that.
Yeah.
But no, and the funny thing about it, I remember it like yesterday, like it was yesterday. 29. What was it? 29 years later. It was the last game of the season, and they didn't know if Thurman was going to play. I didn't know who Thurman Thomas was, all like that. I knew the names. And I knew certain things about him, but I wasn't this guy about the Bills.
Right.
Now, Matt will probably sit here and tell you, yeah, I was, at 9 years old, I knew everything, all the analytics that they didn't have back then. Yeah, I'm coming at you, Matt, because you're not here to defend yourself. But I remember that the big thing was, and this is the shot at load management as we know today. Thurman Thomas was close to getting 1,000 yards for the season. He had to play in this game. He had to get like 20 yards to get the 1,000-yard season. Mm-hmm. And so he's playing. Cool. I get to see Thurman. Jim Kelly didn't play. Andre Reed played. But what I remember the most about this game, Russell Copeland, you ever heard of him?
Nope,
Russell Copeland tried to field a punt. Anybody at home that remembers this game, if you were there, do not tell me you didn't think Russell Copeland died on the field that day. He got hit so hard because he didn't call for a fair catch.
Did his knees touch his shoulders?
Man, his chin snapped back like, yo. He just laid out. He was on the field talking out of his butt. And I thought he was dead. That was too much for a 10-year-old to take.
Jeez.
See, I put it right here.
What kind of football you watching back in the day?
Yo, if you want to watch it, I challenge you.
As soon as he got hit, a daisy appeared in his hand. He just laid there in the grass.
I was like, yo, is this legal? How? So he got destroyed. And also, for you dome lovers, you dome huggers.
That would be me, sir.
I know I'm talking about you
what
too.
You got to say? Come on.
2009 Colts game, the snow game.
Mm-hmm.
I was there. Mm-hmm. That is one of the reasons why I love being a Bills fan.
Because of the snow?
No, it wasn't just that. But let me paint the picture.
Okay.
What did I don't know her name in Golden Girls, the mom who was was younger than the other three.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing ever.
No, they made her old to be their mom. I remember it like it's yesterday. It's me and my man Gord. We go to the game, and it was funny because there was so much snow on our street. He called me. We had season tickets this year. He called me and said, "Yo, Key, you want to try it?" I said, "I had a Grand Prix." I'm like, "If we can get off this street, we're going to this game."
Oh, you was making it happen with that Grand Prix.
Dude,
I used to love that Grand Prix.
I was not going to be denied. I was not going to be denied.
The cherry red joint?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. You was making moves with that bad boy. I knew what kind of engine you had in that thing, man. Man.
Yes, sir.
That was a pretty car.
So we got to the edge of the street, and we were like, we're going to make it. Because when I got to it, I didn't want to stop at his house. I didn't want to get stuck. They didn't plow.
Right.
So we out there. Mind you, I have my football pants on. I have a pair of warm-up pants on. I have a pair of long johns on. I have a pair of jeans on. I have 2 hoodies on, 2 t-shirts, a huge jacket.
No, see, if I got to put on a whole nother person just to go to a game, man, that's too much.
Family. I had 3 pairs of socks on. Couldn't even tie my shoes. I had a belt that just kind of like tied it all together with. I said, okay, this is it. We got
okay.
That bad
Listen,
boy.
Anybody watching, really quick, like the last, and Kit, correct me if I'm wrong. The last game that my wife and I went to was the Patriots game when they had Randy Moss and they beat us down like 50 something to 4 or whatever it was. And I think outside the stadium there was about like 4 feet of snow like surrounding all the areas that they didn't shovel. Yep. Right now we parked in the ECC parking lot, which is
it was
whole couple football fields across the way. Now, it's cold. Yeah. Like it's a December game, or maybe a November game. But anyway, we were at the game. We were there till I think the beginning of the 4th, maybe. And the only reason we stayed in the third quarter is because we wanted to see if they were going to make a comeback and try to make it interesting or whatever.
Right.
And they never did, obviously, but. Man, we go to leave the stadium and start to walk back across, to try and take the fastest way to get to where we parked, and we sitting there high stepping through all this snow, and the main thing that we kept saying to each other, never again. Never again. That was the last time we would be caught dead at a cold football game.
Yo, T. Ken, you got to man. Watch out.
What?
Man,
Watch out. Watch out.
Man, this is Buffalo. Watch out.
Hold up. How many people did you have to put on to go to that game?
How many people? You know, actually, I overdressed. That's the sad part about it. I overdressed. But no, can I go back to my moment? Since you poo-pooing all over my...
See, Caitlin says sucked. Major sucked. Never again.
Caitlin's like 5'1". If you would have stepped wrong, she would have fell in there.
She is 5'2". You gonna get it right.
Whatever.
What'd you say, 5'11"? 5'1"? All right. You still gotta get in the door when you get home.
T, if you listen, what do you think?
T is only 5 foot tall. How tall is T?
T, I didn't say it.
She been in the gym too, so she's
not gonna remember it. She's never gonna forget that.
No.
Ooh, yo, you about to
feet start to shrink in a little bit. You lose a few inches.
Yeah, your voice is cracked. You right. You right. I didn't want to go home after that. Yeah. T is 5'4", and I'll say in a half.
5'4"?
In a half because she wants to add that half.
Why does the half matter? She's still short.
I'm 6'6". It matters somehow. I don't know.
Wow.
My mom's 5'8", and T's like, I didn't know I wasn't. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
So basically, T was listed at 5'4" in college, but when she went to the combine, she's really 5.
Right. You
like
got
3,
it.
5.
You got it. Because I say 5'3", but she snatched me out for that.
Got you.
Okay. But no, you know the thing about the game, the huge thing about
outside looking at this and what I walk in on.
Well, depending on where you came in at, because we was some
utter
stuff
nonsense going on right now, bro.
It was a heartfelt conversation, but you know, he started talking about walking through the ECC lot. They stepped wrong with fell in the snow, made snow angels, blah blah blah. Anyway,
and decided to never go to a cold football game ever again.
And he calls himself a fan. Watch this situation. This scenario is going to play out. I'm at the 2009 snow game with the Colts game. I remember it because Dallas Clark needed 100 receptions. He needed, I forget how many catches, 7 receptions.
I'm sorry. What? His comments going crazy right now. Outside looking at it and said, I'm 5'3"3/4. And TL said, yo. Outside looking at it and says, part Mexican. Wait, you serious, bro?
There you go.
5'4", calm down, T says.
Oh, you know what the half? I gave you the half and everything.
Nah, she's being realistic.
Okay,
that's her brand. That's on brand. Like just stating what it is. I mean, she's been saying the Bills suck for years, so you know
she has been
on brand.
That. And she called she used to make fun of the Nuggets too. But
oh snap!
It was tough sledding for a long time for me. But no, I remember this game because Dallas Clark played, and at the time, you know, the big to do was is he going to get 100 receptions? He needed 7. He got 7. They pulled him. Peyton Manning was going for 4,500 yards. He needed, I forget, it was like 70 or something like that. He got it. Mm-hmm. And Fred Jackson was going for his one and only 1,000-yard season. He needed 100 and something outlandish he wasn't supposed to get. He ran 33 times for 212 yards. They just handed him the ball 1,000,000 times to get him that 1,000 yards.
That's unbelievable.
Terrell Owens was on the team. He got decked over the middle right about the 3-yard line. I forget who hit him, but they hit him hard. I mean,
I don't think anybody felt bad for him.
I mean, no. But the way he got hit, though.
For real?
It wasn't Russell Copeland, but he got hit.
Wow.
And
Caitlin says she's 5'4" without scoliosis.
Who said that?
Caitlin? Yeah. She keep trying. Anytime she can get the Corleones into the conversation like that.
Well, I'm 6'9" without working, so hey, you know, my spinal cord has been, because I got to stand, so it's been compressed. I'm one chiropractic visit away, people. One chiropractic visit away.
I'm one dream short of being 6'4".
There you go.
What are we talking about?
You got to go for the gusto.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, what I love the most about this game, and I was robbed because the Gordon and the friend we met up there got cold and wanted to leave, and I felt bad for him. So I'm like, man, this is the only time I ever left a game early. Any game. I don't leave games early. But I felt bad for them, so I had to do it. But the thing was, there were people, you know, every time they scored, people were dancing. The Colts were out there making snowmen. They were sliding across the field. You know, it was just a time. It was like amongst your people. Everybody was having a great time. Actually, I have one more thing that's not even a big deal, but my interactions with the blacked out Detroit game the year after they went 0-16. when I told you, you know, how there was no fighting, there was no arguments. We were bad. They were bad the year before that, and they were telling us how great we were going to be, and we were telling them how great they were, and everybody was fellowshipping, shaking hands, and all this nonsense. I don't know. It was just, you know, it just went against the grain of the typical aggression that you usually seek out of a Bills Mafia fan. You know, it was a atmosphere I would take my son to. It was an atmosphere. It was very fun to be around. Everybody was just enjoying themselves, except for the haters that told us we had to keep sitting down. Yeah, yellow shirts, you know who you are.
Make them eat the yellow snow. I think we're about to. I was just about to say, I think we're about to get canceled, man. Outside looking in, he said he's like a biracial Joe Pesci. Because he's Mexican. He's on the shorter side. But I messed around. I said Tan Danny DeVito in the house.
Yeah,
LOL.
yeah. I was gonna say Danny DeVito.
He said I got next.
He said cut it. Let's go over to Gusto.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Obviously, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know, OLI.
I'm short in my opinion. I'm 5'11".
And you know, and this is gonna be very controversial. And think I'm joking. I feel the same way until I stand next to people. Seriously, like if I'm by myself, I feel so regular. It's not even funny. Like, you know, if I see myself in the mirror, like if I'm standing next to a door or something, I can see like where I am. But like just walking around, like I don't feel like I'm like some kind of skyscraper.
I think part of being tall, there's a certain behavior that comes with tall people. Like usually tall people are not personable. They're kind of quiet, you know, a little timid.
Yeah.
You behave as a normal person though. Like you're a very personable guy, you know what I'm saying? And your mannerisms, like
I enjoy
you're
it.
very animated,
I
right?
enjoy life.
Tall people don't act like that.
No. You get quiet.
Right, they can't even laugh right. That's tall people.
That's tall people
Yeah,
for you.
I mean, playing hide and seek, you done. You
It's
can't even
over
go
with.
there.
It's over with.
I remember when we tried to go to where do we go? We went to Cedar Point.
No, Darien Lake.
Was it
Darien Lake. Yeah.
Yo, you couldn't get on half the
I was
rides.
pissed. I paid $41. After asking the lady,
Yo.
I asked the lady, what can I do as a 6'6" man? She's like, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
First ride we got to.
Yep. Just give me the ticket money. Go on in. Just go on in.
I was Googling it. I'm like, yo, what can I, at Darien Lake, my favorite ride, Superman.
You squeezed on the
The
one roller coaster.
The one I know I wasn't going to die on.
Right. And that was it. Now, y'all go ahead.
I was a coat carrying man. Y'all were having a ball. Y'all were on a roller coaster. Then the guy cranked up the hammer game, or what's it called? The mallet game where you hit the thing and it goes up. He cranked the speed, the resistance all the way up. Remember, you guys told me that? Mm-hmm. Didn't know it. The little kick all the way up. I'm like, I'm hitting the thing. It's like, I'm like, yo, for real? For real? Like, yo, this little 5-year-old just made it go way up there. I'm right there. Yo, this is bogus, man.
Yeah. And then we figured out the guy was like holding a button or something.
Yeah,
like
I'm
that.
like, okay, all right. So on top of the $41 I didn't get to utilize in this place, now you're ganking me for this.
Oh yeah, you couldn't win any prizes. No. Yeah, it was just completely
No.
ruined for you.
Yeah, it was just terrible. The only thing I will ever win is somebody trying to guess my weight. Only thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, they 240? No. 250? No. Like, just give me the toy. Give me the toy.
Right. Okay. I got to get going.
I definitely got to get going as well.
Great.
Folks, before we do that, though,
Yeah.
you know I got to go because I got to go to the dungeon.
The
And no,
dungeon.
T, that's not you. You know that. Everybody knows he's not going home to
He talks about his
T.
wife like that?
Right. He's cancel him. No. But before we go, anybody that watches the show on syndication or whatever, however this finds you.
Syndication? We got that far?
Oh, we there.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
If you watch this on live, if you watch this on tape delay, let us know, because I really want to know what your reasons for being a Bills fan are. What are your earliest moments and memories of being a Bills fan? Why are you here? Why were you there when the drought was happening, when everybody was talking about it? That's what I want to know. Put it in the comments. I'll be bored tonight, and I want to have dialogue with each and every one of you guys.
All right. And if you hear the music, of course, that means I got 90 seconds to get this thing done with. Outside looking in said his wait for Fiesta. Yo, you really trying to disrupt my 90 seconds right now, bro. You need to cut that out. He put some money on that thing today. Basketball Truth and Knowledge, my oldest son, our producer of the show, he's got his own podcast. If you love the NBA and you want to hear all things news, entertainment-wise, he does a great job on that show. He's constantly and consistently growing. Check him out if you're interested. Listen, we love the comments. We love having everybody here. If you have not subscribed already, please ring that bell. I'm not going over outside looking in. Ring that bell so you can get notifications for all our content. With that being said, thank you so much. We've gotten to 100 subscribers. I think we're at 102 right now. We want to keep that thing jumping. So anybody who knows anybody who likes the, football and enjoys being entertained, please make that happen. Send them a
Send them a show, whether it's Spotify or on YouTube.
Right. However you want to do it. We're still catching up on Spotify. We'll be caught up very soon. Actually, I should be done with that by the end of the week. Other than that, I think I got it all out. So see you on Monday. Around between 6 and 6:15-ish is usually when we hop on.
We'll tell Matt not to walk in front
This
of the
has been the
camera.
Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium takes. Don't you try to disrupt me again.
This is Keith.
I've been your co-host, Aramis,
And this is
we
Keith.
are out.